Wrestling Days, and welcome to Wrestling Days Live. We are live for this week's Smackdown Live, which I think, I don't know where it comes from actually. I didn't double check. I don't know if it comes from California or if it comes from Canada. I think it's California. I think they are in still the Los Angeles, California area, but I'd have to double check that. And yes, I hope we're in for a good show. Raw was very good. Smackdown is normally as good as Raw. So high hopes that Smackdown can match the good work that Raw did. I suppose a little bit of a concern because obviously there's no Firefly Funhouse to look forward to. I don't think there's going to be any shocks or surprises. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how SmackDown's going to be good. I'm just keeping my fingers crossed that it's going to be good. But I haven't figured out how they're going to do it yet. Because in all truth, the go-home shows normally are a little bit flat. Normally a lot of the work has been done already. So kind of means that you don't get any shocks or surprises or, yeah, kind of anything that you weren't expecting. So, little concerned, but I've got high hopes because yesterday's Raw was a very good show. Hello to everyone that's in the chat. Let me just move this camera a little bit. Shout out to KJ. Hello to Shannon. Hello to Margie. Kane Monster. Hello to all of you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We've got loads to go through, obviously. We always start an hour early so that we can kind of go through the news, go through the rumours, talk about kind of what happened on Raw. Obviously, I want to talk about the Firefly Funhouse, and I haven't actually looked to see what the news is. Let's have a look and click on news. Not much. Nothing major by the looks of it. I did see that about Dana Brooke. I don't know if you saw that, but Dana Brooke actually on main event just before Raw yesterday, like got a massive cut on her head. Haven't heard the latest, but they had to throw up the old X sign because the blood was just pouring out of her head. Yeah, I hope she's all right. I'm sure, like, after a few stitches, she was probably okay, but a little bit of a news story that was doing the rounds that I saw earlier. As well as that, I saw that on WWE, the YouTube channel, they actually uploaded a video of R-Truth and Titus O'Neil and what happened under the ring during Raw. You might remember that R-Truth went under the ring and then out the other side, Titus O'Neil emerged. Well, there's footage of what happened under the ring, and it's quite fun actually, because Titus O'Neil is under the ring. R-Truth like comes under the ring, and Titus tries to pin him. He had a referee under the ring with him, and he actually gets a 2 count. So he tries to pin R-Truth, and then gets a 2 count. Before he knows it, he's being dragged out by the superstars, and R-Truth then gets away. So it's only like a minute long, this little clip, but I thought it was kind of fun. Something that we didn't actually get to see on Raw. A little, you know, kind of extra footage, unseen footage. So I like that. I think that's a good way to use YouTube, not just for the clips we see, but just little things that we don't. Evening Wrestling Nerds, hoping for a good show tonight after the good one last night. Hello, Anna Dawes. Yeah, that's kind of what we were saying. We were saying that we are hoping that tonight's going to be good. I don't know. I'm torn on it. I think yesterday was a good show. I'm excited for tonight. I think it's got great potential. The only problem is that the go-home shows can be a little bit flat. You don't tend to get many surprises. And obviously there's no Funhouse to look forward to. I know we're getting Xavier Woods against Dolph Ziggler, and that's just not a match that excites me. So I think for that reason, it's a little bit... just a little bit... I don't know. Let's see. What do you think about Shane's career? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do I think about Shane's career? Or Shane Career? Is that a person? I don't know. Jamie, I'll have a look. 24/7 title is just a gag. Yeah, it's fun though. People are really into it. So, put pants to the Muscle Man dance. Really glad that you're our friend. Did you see the article that Smashing Ramblin' Rabbit was to take a shot at Moxley for his interview about WWE? Yes, I did. We spoke about it on a Funhouse video the other week, because we try and break down the videos, and we spoke about the fact that there was John Moxley AEW references the other week. The response to today's video has been overwhelming. Like, I do want to take a second. I know that we're talking about Raw, and I know that we're kind of previewing SmackDown and all of that kind of stuff. But yeah, I was really grateful with how people kind of responded to today's videos. If I'm being honest, I'm a little bit tired right now. Because I've only had a few hours sleep today. I've not had much sleep at all. So I did the Raw stream, and then as soon as we finished, I went straight into doing my reaction video, had a look on Twitter to see what people were saying, all of that stuff. As soon as I did that, then I started work on the theory video. And how long did that video take? I want to say about 8 hours. About 8 hours of going through, looking at what people were saying, kind of trying to figure things out myself, kind of went down a few roads that didn't lead anywhere, and that video took a long time to put together. So by the time it was finished, edited, and uploaded, I was like, I was falling asleep, but I was really pleased with it. And I'm just, really grateful that people seem to really enjoy it as well. So, if you've not seen it, check it out. It's on the channel now. It kind of goes through my theory as to what yesterday's episode was all about. Why I think that was the last episode. When I think Bray might make his appearance. Why Stomping Ground might not be the right place for that. It's all in that video. But as I said, it took a lot of time. And it only left me a few hours to get some sleep. So I had a few hours sleep earlier. Got up and then had to start setting up for the stream. Had something to eat, set up for the stream. And here we are. So, yeah, I'm kind of feeling a little bit tired. I got my coffee, though. And hopefully the action is going to be good enough to keep me awake. If it's going to be slow, there's every chance I might fall asleep during this stream. So... There you go, you have been warned. Hey Days, what's the song at the end of your videos? It is on it's on YouTube on the audio library, and that is a place where you can get copyright free songs, so songs that you're allowed to just use, and YouTube basically put them up for you to use, and there's loads on there. But I've gone through a lot of them to try and find what I thought would work, and it's a track that I really love, and I think it's called Rock Angel. Audio library on YouTube. The Vince McMahon puppet should win the 24/7 title. What is the Wyatt taking? Oh man, that moves so quick. What is the Wyatt taking a shot at Ambrose theory? Okay, so the theory is that Ramblin' Rabbit last week said that he was going to reveal the secrets of the Firefly Funhouse, and then Bray Wyatt grabbed him and shut him up, and people were saying that's basically WWE trying to shut up Dean Ambrose, trying to control their superstars. And then also the fact that he started to smash Ramblin' Rabbit with the hammer, with the mallet. That's WWE trying to, smash their competition. That's WWE trying to silence their critics. People feel there was a lot of references to Jon Moxley in particular. And also in that episode, the sign, "Abandon all hope, ye who exit here." That was the episode we saw that sign go on the door. So people were saying, that's a reference to people that want to leave WWE. There's a lot of theories that episode was kind of based on AEW, Jon Moxley, kind of taking a shot at their competitors. And it could have been. It totally could have been. I mean, as I said, those videos are really fun to make. If you've not seen them, then give them a watch, because they take a lot of time to kind of research and go through, and I'm really pleased with how they've turned out. Certainly today's. I was really pleased with the response. Hello, Anto. Hope you are well. Hello to Byron as well. What do you think about Bray Wyatt's career? I think it's been a bit messy. I think he should have been booked better from the start. I think that the whole cult thing could have worked. I do think this is better than where he was. I think this is the best version of Bray Wyatt we've ever had. So I am excited for this. But I do feel that they dropped the ball a few times with Bray Wyatt. Like, Bray probably should have beaten The Undertaker. I think it was WrestleMania 31. Was it 31? Who did Undertaker face at 31? Yes, it was Bray Wyatt, because John Cena faced Rusev. So, I feel that Bray should have beaten The Undertaker at WrestleMania 31. Undertaker had already lost the streak by that point. And you could argue, actually, Bray Wyatt would have been a really good person to have ended the streak if Brock hadn't have done it, because obviously Bray was calling himself the new face of fear. So, there's some really interesting conversations to be had about Bray Wyatt and his history and where he's come from and all of that. But I don't want to get too boring. I don't want to bore people. But I do think this is the best version of him. Jamie, yes, we will just do the same, and then I'll try and change the password again. I just haven't had time. Shout out to Dylan the Gamer. Who do you want Aleister Black to feud with? Who do I want Aleister Black to feud with? Okay, this is how I would book Aleister Black. I would have him just have a match against maybe Titus O'Neil to start off with. Maybe have Titus knock on the door and go, "Is everything alright, man? Are you okay?" And then just have Aleister Black jump him, just start unloading. That leads to a match. They then have a match. Aleister Black destroys Titus O'Neil. And that's not the feud. That's just a way of getting, like, Aleister Black getting that ball rolling. I think he could probably have a feud with Ricochet. Are they on the same brand? I don't even know if they're on the same brand anymore. But yeah, I feel like Ricochet would be a good feud, because obviously they came up at the same time. They were in a tag team together. I like the idea that Aleister Black is getting very frustrated. He just wants competition. He could go after Ricochet, kind of saying, "You lied to me. You told me this was going to be something else other than this. This isn't what I wanted." Kind of making out that he wishes he was still in NXT. I think that would probably resonate with wrestling fans, because, why would a superstar want to get called up to the main roster when NXT is just, so much fun and they get paid well, and obviously Tyler Breeze actually even went in the other direction, didn't he? So I think there's a real story there for him to kind of hold a grudge against Ricochet and say, why did you make me leave? I don't want to be here. You lied to me, all that kind of stuff. I would have Aleister Black win that feud as well, and have Aleister Black kind of move on. I think Ricochet at this stage is a good mid-carder, but I don't see Ricochet, competing for the WWE title yet. I think he can in the future, but not yet. I think he's at the mid-card. I think he's at the same level as, Ali, and the same level as Andrade, and those kind of guys. I mean, you've got a really good mid-card scene at the moment. kind of like the mid-card scene's probably as strong as it's ever been. It reminds me a little bit of like the Mr. Perfect, Jake the Snake kind of days, you know? We've got some big names. Like Ricochet, obviously, used to be Prince Puma in Lucha Underground, and kind of very cool to see him on that mid-card scene. So, I really like Ricochet. I'm a massive fan of Andrade's as well. You've got Nakamura floating around, you know, a massive star from Japan who definitely isn't main event status at the moment. He's not even mid-card status at the moment. You got Rusev, and as I said, you know, really strong mid-card. So I would have him around there and use Ricochet as to kind of launch Aleister Black to the main event scene. I wouldn't have Aleister Black around the mid-card scene. I feel like Aleister Black for me is a lot like The Undertaker. When The Undertaker first came in, he wasn't going after the Intercontinental title or, you know, any kind of mid-card championships. I think he debuted at Survivor Series 1990, and at Survivor Series 1991, he was having a WWE Championship match against Hulk Hogan. Like, he went bang like that. No messing around. He was just like, yes, main event. And I would do that with Aleister Black. I would have Aleister Black, give him a few feuds, build him up. This time next year, WWE Championship matches. Done. You should do how I would book videos. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I remember when, what's his name? Adam Blampier, was it? Or Blampede? Blampier, I think his name was. I didn't really watch What Culture that much, but I saw that he did a lot of those booking videos, and actually, he's the only person I've really seen that used to do them. I haven't seen them since. I don't really watch Cultaholic, or I don't have time, so I don't know if they do them. But yeah, I think as wrestling fans, we all have those kinds of ideas and fantasy booking, and yeah, I definitely have opinions. I mean, everyone does when they're wrestling fans, don't they? So yeah, those kind of videos could be fun. I just don't know if that's the kind of thing people would want to watch. Don't know. Maybe they would. Maybe they wouldn't. I'd keep Aleister Black and Ricochet apart and start using the Heath Slater and EC3s and Titus kind of people to face Black. Have more pushed out people feature more now. Yeah, you could definitely do that. For me, those names that you've mentioned, though, are kind of jobbers. EC3, I mean, look at how EC3's been treated. EC3 isn't in any kind of feuds. He, you know, isn't being used on a regular basis. He got used yesterday as a... Well, he didn't even make it to the ring as the ref, did he? I mean, he was used as a ref, but he didn't even make it to the ring before getting beaten up on the entrance ramp and then used in a comedy segment. So, he's a jobber. I'm sorry, he's a jobber at the moment. That can change, but at the moment, he's a jobber. Heath Slater's always been a jobber. Like 3MB and Social Outcasts, and obviously he had a few moments with the Nexus and then his tag team with Rhino, but is a job. It's great. I'm a big fan of Heath Slater's, but yeah, I personally would pitch Aleister Black above that. I think he's above that. You could have him destroy some of those guys, but I honestly would have him like The Undertaker. I feel like what they did with The Undertaker was bang on the money. Aleister Black is such a rare commodity. There's really not many people like Aleister Black. You know, he is someone that is MMA trained. He's a kickboxer, so he can do, obviously, spinning heel kicks. Obviously, Black Mass is a great finishing move. You know, he's quite tall. Well, I say he's tall. I'm not sure if he's that tall, but he certainly looks tall. Feels like he's tall. Feels like he's the same size as The Undertaker, but I'm sure if they were face to face, he would actually be a lot smaller. So, yeah, the way he carries himself, Aleister Black, I feel he's special. I really feel like they've got something special. They've got someone that could potentially be a main event talent. He was certainly main event down in NXT. I think we've seen his potential. I'm really excited about Aleister Black. That's why I can talk about him for so long. I'm a genuine fan. Liam Costa says, it was my 19th birthday today. I sent you a tweet. Yeah, dude, I've been drowning in theories for Bray Wyatt today, but many happy birthday returns. I hope you had a great day. So shout out to my good friend Liam Costa, who turned 19 today. That's the final year that you can call yourself a teenager, into the big 20s after that point, dude. So enjoy these final teen moments that you're having. Wyatt is in a cult. Listen to what he says and how he says it in the latest Funhouse video. I don't even know where to start with that. He could be in a cult, but I've been pretty adamant for a long time that all of the Funhouse is in his mind. So anything you've seen in the Funhouse doesn't exist. It's all in Bray Wyatt's head. So if you're saying that we've seen Bray acting like he's in a cult because of what we've seen in the Funhouse, I would argue, I'm of the opinion that's all in his head anyway. So there's no proof really that he's in a cult. Obviously, the theory that it's all in his head could be wrong. We are basing it on like old tweets and reading between the lines and building on people's theories. So yeah, I mean, there's every chance that we've gone down, taken a wrong turn somewhere. So I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm just saying that wouldn't match up with my theory of the Funhouse. Enjoy it while you can. One day you'll wake up and realise you're 30. Ronda Rousey backstage at Smackdown Live tonight, reported by Ringside News. I had actually heard rumours. I've heard rumours as well. There's some... I've heard rumours she's not alone. Let's put it that way. But I don't know. I don't have any expectation that she's going to be on the show. The reason that I say that is because this is the go-home show for Stomping Ground. She's not at Stomping Ground, and it would be very last minute to put her on the card. Now, I know they're struggling with ticket sales, actually. There's a real problem with them selling the tickets for the show. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm struggling a little bit as to... Would they use her? Would they not use her? I'm of the opinion they're not going to. I think similar to what we saw with Bray Wyatt backstage, I think she's probably there to just watch, have an evening out kind of a thing, There is a girl at my school, and her name is Fran. Me and her are a tag team at our local wrestling academy. In 2 times people have tried to shoot on her, and I saved her. She said she did not. She said she did not. I don't understand what that means, dude. First of all, very cool that you're at wrestling school. Very cool that you're in a tag team. And I wish you all the best. C Wrestling says, worst pay-per-view ticket sales of all time for this close to an event. Interesting. Hello, C Wrestling. Hello, E-Man. Hope you are well. What was I saying? I was talking about Ronda. I was talking about the fact she's not alone. I was talking about the fact she's backstage. I'm not expecting anything from them tonight. If we get anything to do with Ronda tonight, I will be amazed. Because I don't think she's looking to return. Like, she was talking about starting a family. I think she's only just recovered from her broken hand. So, I don't see that they're going to do any program. It's not as if we're going to get 4 horsewomen. I mean, they've all got their own... Do you know what I mean? Becky's off with Lacey on Raw. You got Bayley, who's feuding with Alexa. Charlotte's just off doing her own thing. We haven't even seen Sasha. I don't even know where Sasha is. So, yeah, I can't see a four horsewomen. They'd have to just change everything. They'd have to just completely turn the ship around. Maybe they're going to do that because of the poor ticket sales, but I feel like that's a jump. I feel like that's a real reach. If Leo got released, I'm going to AEW. Well, I've not heard about Leo getting released. Days, if you created a title, what would you call it? If I created a title, what would I call it? I would call it the Unified Tag Team Championships. And what I would do is I would get rid of the Raw Tag Team Championship, I would get rid of the SmackDown Tag Team Championship, and we would have one Tag Team Championship. So the women can still have theirs, but there would be one for the guys, and that would be defended across Raw and SmackDown. I just don't think there's enough teams for two championships. I think that each brand has got about 3 good teams all competing for the titles, and it's actually getting to the point where we don't see tag team championship matches at every pay-per-view because it's one of the easiest championships to leave off the show, because we just get loads of like single stars in tag team matches, and then you've got loads of tag teams that don't really get used. It's a mess. I hate the tag team division. I think it's got so much potential. I think you've got some great teams. I think they probably are looking to try and build a few of those teams up. Obviously, you got the Revival hanging around with Shane McMahon now, so that's kind of helping them. We saw Gallows and Anderson with AJ Styles, so clearly they're getting a little bit of a push. We know Authors of Pain are on the verge of coming back because we saw them at the Battle Royal for Super Showdown. Obviously, we've seen the Viking Raiders. They came out with their entrance gear yesterday, and they had a bit of a squash match. So there's a few things that are happening. There's some great teams, but I just don't feel like there's enough teams to warrant 2 tag team championship belts. If you go back to like the 90s in WWE, you only ever had one tag team championship belt, the World Tag Team Championship belt. And you had teams like Demolition, Legion of Doom, Nasty Boys, Rockers, British Bulldogs, Heart Foundation. You know, you had this amazing tag team division. On top of that, Strike Force, Power and Glory, Colossal Collection, Natural Disasters, Money Incorporated. Like, I know we're spanning about a 6-year period, but I'm just pointing out that tag team division in the late 80s, early 90s was on fire, and they only had one. So what is it about this that means we need 2? So yeah, I that's what I would do. I would actually create less championships. Do you think Aleister Black will feud with Bray Wyatt? Somewhere down the road, I would imagine, but not first. I don't want it to be first. I don't want. There's no, what a stupid. I've seen a lot of people talking about this on Twitter, and I just think it's so stupid. Why would you have Aleister Black feud with Bray Wyatt? Are you seriously saying that you want to see that feud and that you would book that feud, or just because Aleister Black is shouting at an open door saying someone challenge me, and you've got Bray Wyatt saying let me in? Are we really saying that this was going to work because of that one reason? The fact that Aleister Black's got an open door and Bray Wyatt wants to be let in. Like, that's not the grounds for a feud, is it? Like, what issue has Bray Wyatt got with Aleister Black? Absolutely none. 0. No issue whatsoever. That to me is stupid booking, hopeless booking, horrible booking, because there's no story there. literally Aleister Black shouting at an open door and Bray Wyatt saying, "Let me in." Yeah, let's put him in a match. And the amount of people that are saying that that's going to be Bray's first feud is incredible. Incredible. I'm not saying that that's not going to be the first feud. What I'm saying is it better not be, because I honestly think that's one of the worst ways to debut Bray Wyatt I could think of. Like, Bray, when Bray has a match, it needs to be for a reason. Like, Bray, I would, even if the Firefly Funhouse is now finished, I wouldn't have Bray anywhere near a wrestling ring. Like, Bray shouldn't be having, like, pointless matches on Raw and SmackDown. You don't spend 8-9 weeks building up Bray Wyatt just to then throw him in a pointless match on Raw. Like, you've built him up for a purpose. Like, his first match back needs to be at a pay-per-view, needs to be against someone like Randy Orton, because of the fact that Orton burnt down the compound, the fact that Orton was the one that took away Bray's championship. Bray's only ever won one WWE championship, and Orton took that away. Now, Bray is all about forgiveness and all of this kind of stuff. The Fiend isn't. The Fiend is Bray's darkness. So the Fiend isn't about forgiveness. So I really like the idea of Bray, like, shaking hands with Randy Orton. So he could shake hands with Randy Orton and say, look, no hard feelings. What happened was in the past. I'm here to, say that I want to move on. Lights could flicker, lights go out, they come back on. It's not Bray in the ring anymore. It's the Fiend, and the Fiend goes mental, destroys Randy. Absolute, like, destruction on a level that you rarely see. I'm talking about ripping aprons off the side of the ring, tearing the ring canvas away from the ring, exposing the ring, planting Orton onto the bare ring, the wooden boards of the actual ring, like hurling him into the barricade actually falling over. This is what I'm saying. Don't just give us a normal beatdown on the outside. I'm going to throw you into a barricade. I'm going to throw you into a commentary table. I'm going to throw you into the steps. Yeah, we've seen all that a million times. Give us stuff we haven't seen. Take it to the next level, the level that we rarely go to. Give us something where, when Big Show, I think, did he suplex Brock Lesnar? Was it Big Show Brock Lesnar and the ring collapsed? Like, they only ever did that a couple of times, and it was really impactful. Something on that scale. Give me something on that scale for when we first see the Fiend. I would have him destroy Randy Orton, and then lights could go off again, come back on, and it's Bray, and Bray's like, Orton, are you alright? Randy, are you okay? And just, like, doesn't know what's happened, kind of a thing. It just builds up more mystery around the character. There's a real reason for the feud. People will want to see it. It'll give you a real talking point on a Raw. That is just so much better than just a nothing match against Aleister Black for no reason because the door's open. Yeah. Every single time I see that on Twitter, it winds me up. That is me officially ranting over something that just isn't that important. But I'm just amazed at how many people are saying that Aleister Black, Bray Wyatt, that's going to be the first feud. Why? Why is it? Why? Because of a door. Come on. We're better than that. As wrestling fans, we're better. Let's not sink to Vince McMahon's level. Honestly, couldn't care less about CM Punk. If he comes back, I'd prefer it to be on colour commentary. I have to disagree. I think there's money there. I think he had some great matches when he was the champion. I think he had a real attitude. I think actually his attitude, his real life attitude and kind of hatred for Triple H and WWE as a whole really helped his character. Like, it came through his character, and you could tell that he was genuine. You could tell that he really was upset with the company. And so I suppose no surprise when he did leave. But yeah, I feel like he has been really missed. I mean, who knows what the past 5 years would have been like if he'd have stuck around. I feel like things might have been a little better. I'm sure we would still be in a similar place, but yeah, interesting to think. Bray Wyatt versus Open Challenge at SummerSlam. I don't think so. I mean, it's okay, but I'm not sure that's gonna get people. I feel like there needs to be a reason for him to have a match. The Bray Wyatt that you've seen on Funhouse is like this kid's entertainer. He's so happy and like, you know, we're really glad that you're our friends and all of this, talking about now controlling his darkness, all that kind of stuff. It's hard to see how that character would want to wrestle and fight people, you know? Like, it just doesn't fit. So, for me, when he does fight, it needs to be for a reason. Like, there's got to be a reason for him to have those matches. So, that's just my take. Days, please ask Mattel to give South Africa WWE figures. It wouldn't change anything, dude. It's all about your distribution. It's all about what shops you've got. You need some of your big suppliers to place orders, show interest. You need to prove that there's demand. So me saying to Mattel, "Oh, can you send some figures to South Africa?" will do 0, like less than 0. What you need to do is you need to see, you know, is there a demand there? Maybe start a bit of a petition, try and find some people in South Africa that would like figures as well. Then try and reach out to whatever supermarkets you've got, see if they would be interested in placing the order. You could show them that, look, I've got 20,000 people here that want wrestling figures that you're not stocking. So can you, you know, maybe look into this? Can you speak to Mattel and try and get some, bring them over? Like, if you was to do that kind of work, then you might get a little bit of joy. You could get something. Or if you feel like there's demand, you could even start your own wrestling website in South Africa, and speak to Mattel yourself and get them to ship figures over to you. If you feel like you could sell so many figures, then maybe there's an opportunity there. Hello, Tall Paul 2000s. Days, Braun Strowman suplex Big Show. Yes, that wasn't the first time that... You are right, but that wasn't the first time that the ring broke. That was like the second or the third. They haven't done it many times, but they have done it more than once. I feel like the first was Big Show Brock Lesnar, but I can't say I'm 100% on that. Wrestling is missing the mysticism of Papa Shango and Carmella. I would kind of agree. I feel like Bray is kind of bringing that. I would also like to see Aleister Black embrace a bit of mysticism as well. So, yeah, I definitely think you're right. Wait, why don't we ever do a petition about the UK? Hey, see wrestling. Do it. Get on it. I will back it. Get on that. Get a petition started. Reach out to the Fig Life community. Reach out to the UK figure fans. Get a petition started. And then we could reach out to Smiths and say, look, we got 20,000 people here that were interested in Elite Series 68. And you brought us 2 figures out of 6. Sort it out. They need to make a line of YouTube figures. You're absolutely right. They do. And the reason why I say that is because I think there's a lot of shelves and shelving that I think is quite cold. I don't think there's much product that's on them, and I think they need warming up. So what we need, basically, are some shelf warmers. We need some shelf warmers that can warm up the shelves across the world, warm up the unitary in all of those shops. And I think I can't think of anything better to do that than a line of YouTube wrestling figures. Joking aside, like, other than, say, I don't know, look, joking aside, let's think about this. If they were to do that, who would you have in the line? Grim, I think, would sell okay. Even Grim, I don't think would be doing crazy numbers, because I think he would do okay. But well, I don't know. I mean, like, if you think about it, Raw gets about 2 million views a week. SmackDown gets, I don't know what SmackDown gets, 1 point something million. So you've got 3 million views a week just on the TV shows. Then you've got YouTube, and I mean, like, WWE are just so big, such a machine with their own network and everything that, I mean, the wrestlers get a lot of exposure. Wrestling YouTubers just get no exposure, do they? I mean, I don't even know how many views I get a week. Maybe, like, in an amazing week, in an incredible week, like, probably 400,000 views, something like that, which is, like, nothing, is it? That's nothing. So, well, I'm not saying it's nothing, but what I mean is compared to WWE and everything. So, yeah, it would shelf warm hard, and I think even like a Grim one would do okay. I'd certainly buy one, but I don't think that you'd sell, say, 10,000 or whatever. And I would say Grim would be the biggest one. So after that, you're starting to kind of go down the line. I feel like there would probably be a Denkops, Chris Denker, whatever. I've seen a few of his videos. I know he's big, but I don't really watch, like, the 2K videos. But I feel like he's the biggest in that community. So I feel like he might sell a few. Beyond that, I don't know. Feel free to let me know. Beyond that, I don't know. Wrestling Days, what is that behind you? Posters. That's a poster. Bray on the cover of the new 2K game this year. Maybe. Hello, Ghostface. Hope you are well. I can see people saying that it might be a little bit quiet. I might be able to turn that up a little bit. The thing is, whenever I've watched this back, I've always been too loud, and then it's always kind of clipped. And so I actually turned it down a lot the other day. So if people are saying that I am a little bit quiet now, then that would be the reason why, because I was watching some of my live streams back, and I've got to say, they are brilliant. I was laughing my head off. I am the funniest person I know. But then I am probably the only person I know, other than Mama Days, and she isn't funny. So, that's why I turned it down anyway. I had a mean comment on my Firefly Funhouse reaction video. I wouldn't worry about it. Can you show us your custom figure of yourself? It should be on a video already. I think it is on the Toy Wrestling Shop Toy Hunt video from 2017. So if you type in Wrestling Days Wrestling Shop Live Toy Hunt, Wrestling Days Wrestling Shop Live Toy Hunt, it's the one where I'm, like, dabbing. That one should have it in, and actually that should even have the moment that I'm giving it. So I obviously can't replicate that right now, but I already know it's on the internet, so you'd be able to find it there. Are you a fan of OSW Review on YouTube? Yes. Torpal, I very much am, yes. I've seen all of them. I've watched all of their reviews. I'll be honest, I only got into them about a year ago. I hadn't even heard of them before that. I used to watch Grimm. I used to watch Tommy Toy Travels. I used to listen to like Wrestling Soup, the podcast, and Don Tony. And I used to watch a little bit. I don't know if you remember Bruce Blitz. Do you remember Bruce Blitz? He was like the JD from New York of about 5 years ago. And I used to watch him. He hated John Cena. That's the only thing you need to know. Hated John Cena. Every single review, he would just lay into John Cena. I think he's got his own like website thing now. I don't know what he does. I haven't seen him for years. But yeah, I used to watch Bruce Blitz. So I wasn't aware of OSW review, but I would love to. I mean, I don't want to step on their toes. I couldn't because I'm one person compared to they're 3 people. So if I was to do something similar, it would be very different. But I've thought quite a few times about what videos would I like to make, because there's a lot of videos that I make that I do because how do I word this? I enjoy making them, but I think if I actually stop and think about what would I love to make. If I had a completely clean slate and could do any type of video, what video would I really love to make? And I honestly think I would love to talk. I'd love to talk about old school wrestling. I'm so passionate about like late 80s, early 90s. I'm not a big fan of the Attitude Era, but I love the Hogan era. I love Bruno Sammartino. I love Alundra Blaze. I love Bull Nakano. I love Demolition and the histories of WrestleMania and Undertaker's debut. And I love all of that stuff. So I'm a big fan of OSW review because they've taught me things I didn't know. They cram it full of information. So good. And they're really funny as well. So I would love to do something like that, but I don't want to step on their toes. So I've never been able to figure out where I could fit in. It's difficult. And then actually saying that, I did see that Wrestling with Regret was starting to do old reviews as well, going back. And I'll be very honest, I did look at that and go, damn, that's the kind of thing I want to do. That's the kind of thing that I want to. I mean, I could start doing that as well, but then I'd feel like people are just going to say I'm copying Wrestling with Regret then, and that's not what I want. That's not my intention. So I think I need to figure out how I can look back at the history of wrestling and find a little place for myself. So yeah, to answer your question, I do watch OSW review. I'm a big fan of those guys. I would love to do something similar. Andy McKay says, Days, do you think Bray the Fiend is still going to be alone, or are we still for someone else to be introduced? Andy, first of all, thank you so much for the support. Genuinely appreciate it. Great question. I feel like there's going to be someone else. The reason that I say that is because I know that Bray's been talking to the guy that makes the mask. And I feel like there could be more masks coming. Now, they could be for Bray, or they could be for someone else. I think it would be very easy to bring someone else in with Bray. I feel like Bray's created this universe now. It's really big. It's bigger than Bray. Bray is just a part of this Firefly Funhouse universe, even if it's still all in his head. We've watched it and loved it, enjoyed it. Do you know what I mean? It's taken on a life of its own now. So I feel like it's bigger than Bray. Bray's created something bigger than himself, and it would be it would be easy and probably right for someone else to be with Bray that's kind of from that universe. So it could be someone that we've not seen before. It could be a returning Luke Harper, maybe a Luke Harper under a scary mask as well. If Bray is in a mental facility, who's to say there's not someone else in that mental facility with Bray? And then you could have that person kind of hanging around with Bray as well. The only problem with it being Luke Harper is, of course, you would look at that person and go, oh, look, it's Luke Harper. And so, in a way, I think it'd be better if it was someone new that we hadn't seen before from NXT. I feel like someone like Babatunde would be really cool. Because we've only seen Babatunde once at the Greatest Royal Rumble. He's like 7 foot. He's about like 7 foot tall. The guy is an absolute monster. And those kind of really tall guys, those really big guys, you don't want to have them in NXT because you want them to have an impact on the main roster. Look at Braun. Braun Strowman wasn't down in NXT. If he was, then it was on house shows. I don't remember him being used ever on a NXT TV taping. So I think that having someone huge, someone that, looks a bit different, debuting with Bray, I think would be awesome. There's a guy actually. Let me see if I can find a picture of him. Let's have a look. WWE trainees? No. WWE class 2017? I don't know. Performance Center. I want to find this guy, this picture of this guy, because there is someone that they've got. That's him. That's him. Okay, so I'm going to show you a picture, okay? And this picture has got Matt Riddle in the picture. It's also got Mia Yim, and this will give you an idea of how big this guy is, okay? It is on a slope, all right? I'm just giving you a bit of background before I show you this picture. So it is on an entrance ramp, and the entrance ramp is sloped. So that is helping him out a little bit, okay? But he is only like one step behind Matt Riddle, so I don't think it's helping him that much, right? So this is the guy I'm talking about. Look at the guy in the middle there. Can you see that guy? I can't remember his name, but look at Matt Riddle. There's Matt Riddle. And look at the guy behind him. In fact, I would say those guys standing next to him are probably the same size as Matt Riddle. So you can see just how much taller that guy is compared to someone like Matt Riddle. You can see like the size difference between him and Mia Yim. Mia Yim there at the front. And then you've got this guy, the big black guy at the back. I can't remember his name, but we haven't seen him yet. He was in the same class as Mia Yim and Matt Riddle. We've not seen that guy yet. They have got an absolute giant on their books there. There you go, look. That's him. He's called Jordan Omegbein. Jordan Omegbein. From Nigeria. And he is 7'3". Look at that, 7'3". 7'3". 7'3". How big is Big Show? Big Show, Wikipedia. Big Show was 7 foot. This guy is 3 inches taller than Big Show. What? How big was Great Khali? How big was Great Khali? Right, Great Khali, 7'1". So this guy is 2 inches taller than the Great Khali. This guy is huge. This guy is one of the tallest superstars they have ever had in their history. He is huge. Legit bigger than Andre the Giant. He'll be bigger than Andre. Bigger than Big Show. Bigger than Giant Gonzalez, I believe. And Great Khali. So maybe the biggest superstar they've ever had is currently down in NXT and we haven't seen him. That is who should debut with Bray Wyatt. Imagine Bray Wyatt making his debut and then promising a surprise, promising to shake up the main roster and then bringing that guy out. Oh, fire! That would be amazing. That would be amazing. Right, where are we? Oh my God, we've only got 5 minutes. My leg is falling asleep. Right, I really need to do a quick Wheel of Fun, don't I? Because I've just been talking for 50 odd minutes. I don't know if this first hour is fun for you guys or not, but it's very therapeutic for me. Let's put it that way. It helps me work through things. Right, let's go to widgets. Let's go down to wheel. There's the wheel. Need to do a wheel. We need to be quick. Okay. Hello to everyone that's joining us. I can see we've got new people joining us all the time. We've just been talking about lots of different subjects. Mainly Bray Wyatt. Which is fun to do. Bank. Right. Right, so it's the Wheel of Fun. Everybody loves the Wheel of Fun. What was that? Is that the wheel? It's the Wheel of Fun. Ba-dum-bum. Thank you very much to Nails and NY saying that she really enjoys the first hour. I am pleased about that because I'm a rambling rabbit. There's no two ways about it. I am a rambling rabbit. But I enjoy it. What I don't enjoy is the wheel not appearing. Hello? 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 Where's the wheel? I did the song. You gotta give the people what they want. You can't deny the people. Let me reload it. How long have we got? My God, time is ticking. Time. No one panic. Don't panic. Where is the... Ah, there it is. I knew it wouldn't let us down. Looking lovely, as always. Right, here we go. Spin the wheel. Spin the wheel. The Fiend stole the wheel. Yes. Giveaway. Yes, 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 yes. Giveaway time. We've got to be quick. We've got 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Right, we're going to give away a WWE Kids magazine. I don't have many of these. They didn't send me that many. They kindly sent me a few. And it was kind as well because you get that epic money in the bank briefcase that can hold at least one figure. We tested it out. So it holds at least one figure. You get some cards, you get some stickers in there. Hello! Oh my God! OMG! Pete Dunne! Look at that. My dream has come true. Not only am I on the front of a magazine, I'm talking about Pete Dunne. OMG, Pete Dunne. Right, so we are going to give this away. That is going to go to the... And make sure you're subscribed. The reason I'm saying that is because I am desperately trying to get to 143. So any help in us getting to 143 would be greatly appreciated. So that is going to go to the 21st person that gives me the word Fiend 21st person that gives me the word fiend, you will be a winner! Here we go. Bruiser days. Yes. Oh, I applaud you, Kimberly. If you are Kimberly, I know some people use like other people's accounts. I've always got Virgil. Oh, hello. What's this? What's that noise? When has that started making a noise when it's done that? Wow, that's new. I didn't know what that noise was, but it's our countdown clock running out. Right, okay. Let me count these up. Right, I'm looking for the 21st. So you can see that's flashing away. We've got a rave kicking off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Well done to So Hail Din. Sohail Din. Not a name that I've seen before, which is awesome that we've got someone new winning. Well done to So Hail Din. So Hail Din. I'm probably butchering the name. I apologize. I do those kinds of things. So let me jot that down. Well done to So Hail Din. I can tell you that we are going over to Smackdown Live as well. We're starting with the New Day. So, Hail Dim. Feel the power. It's a new day, as it is. Here we go. We've got the New Day on their way. Wow, I've got things I need to sort here. I've got flashing lights and everything. New day, new day, new day. It is the new day. New day. Rock. Guessing it's a promo. Oh yeah, keep forgetting it's a steel cage match this weekend. Oh, I need to mention as well. We're streaming Stomping Grounds. I know the Cringe Crew will know that. Of course, I'm not speaking to the Cringe Crew, but I am speaking to people that maybe don't normally join us. We are back this weekend for Stomping Ground. I have no idea what my PS4 gamer is. I never play. I do have a PS4, but I think I've been on it maybe once this year. Okay, so we're hearing from Kofi. Kofi in a steel cage match at Stomping Ground against Dolph Ziggler. So we know we're getting Xavier against Dolph tonight. I don't know why. I don't know why WWE do that. Why do they do that? Have Dolph in a match just days before he's got a WWE Championship match. I think if you are in a Universal Championship match or a WWE Championship match at the weekend, you should not wrestle on Raw or SmackDown. Just do a contract signing, do a promo or something like. You shouldn't be having a match. Should be getting ready for like one of the biggest matches of your life. Like that's one of Dolph Ziggler's biggest matches of his career. He has not had that many WWE Championship opportunities. So it's a really big deal for him to be in a title match. Dolph has come out, speaking at Talk of the Devil. All the smoke and mirrors. I gotta be honest, this is a bit of a shame because we started Raw yesterday with a really good little promo, straight into a match, no messing around, and SmackDown's just gone back to the old formula of lengthy promos and pointless promos. So Dolph saying to Kofi, next time you go back to Ghana, it won't be a celebration. It'll be an apology tour for letting them down. Man, Dolph does love to talk. He loves it. So he's saying that Kofi's going to have to realise that he failed at the weekend. It's dull. It's dull. There's a Kofi chant from the crowd, but it's another lengthy promo. Why is it called Stomping Grounds as well? That always bothers me. Why is it not Stomping Ground? Why is it Grounds? Dolph saying it is going to be him this weekend. Good for you, Dolph. Hold up. Who do you think is Bray's worst enemy? You could argue himself. But he can't have a match against himself. Or could he? Is there any way Bray Wyatt could face The Fiend at some point in the future? You know, like how Undertaker faced Underfaker. I wonder if there's any... What? How about... Oh my god, that's amazing. Alright, let's listen to this and then I'll tell you what I just thought. Okay, now Kofi's saying he's going to win at Stomping Grounds. WWE. Dope. I'm here to bore the world. I'm here to bore the world. Come on, boring. I disagree with this match. I don't think Dolph should have to face Xavier tonight. I want Iconics to defend their titles more often. They defended them yesterday. As long as they defend them every 30 days, I ain't got no problem with that. Because I'm telling you now, if I was champion, I would defend it every 30 days and nothing else. You can forget that. I don't care if I'm a heel. Sunday. I was going to start singing a U2 song then. Last night, Sasha was in a commercial. Well, that's good. At least she's doing something. Thank you, Tony. Hey, Days, what's your favourite Firefly Funhouse moment? Probably watching it live in London and The Fiend debuted. Because that wasn't live on TV when I was in London. Because obviously it was recorded. So, to be sat in London in the O2 with, I don't know, about 15,000 people. And be amongst the first in the world to actually see that episode. It was a real honour. It was a real moment that it's one of my favourite moments. And I think in the looking back at the Funhouse, it's one of the best moments. Good for you, mate. There we go. So, some people said some words. That was that. Dolph's heading to the ring, so I'm guessing we're going to get Dolph against Xavier Woods now, are we? Yeah, I'm guessing so. We've got Bayley backstage. Bayley checking herself in the mirror. But it's not a mirror, it's a poster of her. Right, can I tell you what I thought just? Thanks to whoever it was that asked who is Bray Wyatt's worst enemy. Because this idea just came out of that. So what just popped into my head, would it be possible some point in the future, I'm not saying now, like I'm talking in a couple of years, to do a match at, say, SummerSlam, Bray Wyatt versus The Fiend? Imagine that. Imagine that match. Bray Wyatt, Funhouse Bray Wyatt versus The Fiend. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Days, how can Bray Wyatt face his own darkness? Good question. Good question. So, what my brain has worked out is you could have someone convince Bray that he's mental, he's lost his mind. Bray, you've lost it. You don't realise that you turn into this other creature. You turn into this darkness. I can heal you. I can take the darkness out of you. So you could have this superstar claim that they are going to take the darkness out of Bray. Of course they can't and they won't, but they're just saying it to trick Bray Wyatt. So they make out that they can take the darkness, they can help him, and obviously they don't. But then all you do is you just get another superstar to dress up as The Fiend. Bray Wyatt has still got The Fiend in him, still got the darkness in him, but now he's under the impression that that's The Fiend and that's the darkness and that's what he needs to destroy. And all of a sudden, there's your match. Bray Wyatt wants to finally defeat his own darkness, wants to beat The Fiend, and he's been convinced that they've managed to extract it out of him. There it is, over across the ring. I think that would be awesome, man. I think that'd be so much fun. I understand there would be wrestling purists that wouldn't go for that. You know, the kind of people that really like Daniel Bryan versus Cesaro and just want intricate mat wrestling. They're not going to like all of that kind of spooky stuff. But I loved Undertaker versus Undertaker. I thought that storyline was so clever, the way that they told it. And this could work as well, because we all know that the darkness is just a wrestler. Could be anyone. Could be like Rhino. Anyone dressed as the Fiend, right? So you've just got this wrestler dressed as the Fiend. But Bray is under the impression that is his darkness. Then, yeah, that just sets you up. Just sets you up for this match of Bray Wyatt versus the Fiend. Obviously, you can flesh that out more. You can totally change the story. Get there a different way if you want to. But I think if the end result is Bray Wyatt, Funhouse Bray Wyatt versus The Fiend, if Bray's been booked well for the next couple of years, that could be a lot of fun. That could be a lot of fun. I don't think that's any weirder than having Undertaker's brother appear, like Kane, who apparently was burnt in a fire and all of this backstory. I kind of feel like it's on a par with that. So I love that kind of Kane, Undertaker, all of those kind of feuds. I'm a fan of fun wrestling. That's what I like. Fun wrestling. Doesn't have to be, do you know what I mean? Always mat-based brilliance. There's a little bit of room for other things as well. Right, we're going back to the action. We've got Xavier Woods and Dolph Ziggler. What if the Fiend was kind of like Venom and could go to different people? That could be fun. The only issue you would have with that is, obviously WWE is based, or tries to base itself in the real world. Now, I know that's a bit silly because some of the stuff they do is, stupid. But they do try to not have any kind of supernatural stuff. There's no, supernatural characters, is there? They would definitely do that storyline, that Venom jumping around from superstar to superstar. They would do that on Lucha Underground. Lucha Underground has that kind of supernatural feel to it. So that would work well there. I would still be down with WWE doing it. Look, WWE is scripted, yeah? We know this. So why not have a bit of fun with it? We know it's scripted. I'm down with them doing something along those lines. Many people would hate it. Stop talking about the Funhouse. No. I love the Funhouse. I like all kinds of wrestling, technical, story-based, silly fun. A mix is always good. I totally agree with Tall Paul. I'm always conscious when I'm doing streams that I'm talking to such a wide audience, though. So I think that's why I always try and justify and really try to put a lot of thought behind kind of what I'm saying, because I'm trying to reach out to a wide spectrum. In my head, I feel like Jim Cornette is watching. Jim Cornette, for those of you that don't know, is a old school wrestling fan. Obviously used to work in WWE amongst many other promotions as a manager, backstage writer as well, I believe, a producer and everything. Well, he's got a podcast. He hates all the flipping stuff and the athletic stuff. He just likes wrestling to look like proper fights. That's all he wants. He just wants two people in like a fight. So he would hate that idea about Bray Wyatt. He would hate it. And I'm always a little conscious that people along those lines will be watching. And that's totally fine. Right, I need to tell you what's going on with SmackDown. I can tell you that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn have come down. They've started attacking Big E and Kofi. I've got a feeling, I was going to say this might turn into a six-man because they've got their wrestling attire on. Crossbody to the outside by Xavier Woods takes out Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. It's a nice crossbody, actually. Credit where it's due. Ziggler up. DDT. Beautiful DDT on Xavier. 2. Oof, kick out by Xavier. We're going to another commercial? Yes, we are. Thank you, Ian. Appreciate the support, dude. I by the way, I love your contributions as well. I really love these streams because we just talk about anything. I rarely, if ever, do I come on with a list of things to talk about. Like, I actually don't have any notes. So, I literally come on and it's like, right, we need to talk about a bit about Raw. We need to talk a little bit about the Funhouse. Need to talk about SmackDown. And it's really just then talking about whatever you guys want to talk about, you know? So I love these streams because they're unpredictable. And I'll always be honest. All you got to do is let me in. So, yeah, I'll always be honest with you guys. But, yeah, I love it. I love talking about wrestling and how we would book things and getting your ideas as well. You can never be too obsessed with the Funhouse. Good point. When will the New Day split? That's a good question. Let me know, guys, what you think on that. When will the New Day split? I've been very vocal about the fact that I don't like Kofi as WWE champion and as a member of the New Day. For me, your top singles champion should be a singles competitor. I don't think that you should have your singles titles being held by people in tag teams. I don't mind so much, I suppose, the mid-card titles, like when Ambrose was in the Shield and he was US champion. I didn't mind that as much. But when you're talking about the, in my opinion, biggest title in WWE, the one that Kofi has got right now, that's the one that goes back to Bruno Sammartino. That's the one that goes back to Buddy Rogers back in the early 60s. Goes through Hulk Hogan and goes through Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold, Rock, John Cena, you know, Ric Flair, straight the way through, yeah? So, the fact that Kofi's got that and he's in a tag team, I don't like it. I feel like the New Day should be concentrating on being a tag team. Because at the moment, the New Day are just like Kofi's bodyguards, aren't they? So they're just like, you don't see New Day really having that many matches. Like, they had like a 6-man tag thing, but they're just pointless. They're not competing for the tag titles, or they're not involved with another tag team. They've just been kind of removed from the tag division. They've kind of been taken out, all because Kofi is WWE champion. So I want the New Day to split. I've said it many times, because especially if Kofi's going to be champ. If Kofi's going to be champ, I don't want the New Day. I'll only have the New Day if they're a tag team and they're going after tag team titles and they're feuding with tag teams. I mean, imagine if they were in a program now against anyone. New Day versus Ascension. Like, just imagine they could be helping the Ascension. They could be helping the Viking Experience. They could be helping the tag division, but at the moment they're not doing anything because they're just Kofi's bodyguards. So, to answer your question, when do I think they will split? I'm not sure they will. I think that they make a lot of money. I think they sell a lot of merchandise. I think the crowd are still excited to see them. I think they bring a lot to house shows. It's hard to see them splitting up. As I said, I hope they do. I would love to see Big E have a bit of a singles run as well. I don't think they really want it, though. I'm not sure that the New Day really want to split up, so... Hard, man. Hard to say. Put a poll. Becky Two Belts defending against End of Days, Metro Boys, and the Corporation. Xavier Woods picking up and slamming down Dolph. 2.5 for Xavier. Gotta be honest, this match, I've been keeping a little half eye on it, and it's all right. The match is all right. I'll give credit where it's due. It's been a fun little one-on-one match. I just disagree with the fact they're having it. Okay, so Dolph is down. I really hope we get something this week that we can get our teeth into, that we can talk about, that we can get excited about. Dolph to the outside. No, Xavier to the outside, sorry. Trying to put this poll up. End days and corporation. Okay, so Ziggler throwing Woods back into the ring. Zigzag. Zigzag to Xavier. Xavier rolls out the ring. So Xavier's down. What I will say, right, is the commentators are talking about the fact that Xavier Woods cost Dolph Ziggler at Super Showdown. So there is a reason for this match. And that's brilliant. That's great. Like, I'm pleased that there's a reason for it. But it's just happening the wrong week. Shouldn't be happening this week. You know, Dolph is upset with Xavier Woods. And he's pinned Xavier, so Dolph has got the win. But yeah, he's upset with Xavier Woods because he cost him the championship at Super Showdown. So I like the reason for the match. I just don't like the week. Could you imagine if in the UFC, the week that you've got a big championship fight, you are used on a little show the week before? You have to have a fight the week before. It doesn't make any sense. So we can see Xavier is staring blankly up to the ceiling. He's a little bit dazed. Stomping Ground this Sunday. Of course, we are streaming that. We will have figure giveaways as well. So make sure you hit that subscribe. Make sure you join us for this Sunday. We're just seeing from Raw, Seth Rollins said he's done with playing games and then, of course, started taking out all of the guest referees. Not for dinner, with a chair. Who is your favourite current commentator on the main roster? I don't know. I think that's really hard. I really like Nigel McGuinness. I don't know if he counts, but he commentates on 205 Live. Is 205 Live main roster? Probably not. I think Corey Graves is good. I don't mind Tom Phillips. Tom Phillips or Corey Graves. Infinity Ash, thank you very much, dude. Appreciate the support. I don't know how you still watch the full shows of Raw and SmackDown. They've been a challenge, let's put it that way. I will admit they've been a challenge. But there is usually like some bits in there that make it worth it. Yesterday's Raw actually was good. I'm not going to go overboard saying it was fantastic, but I was certainly feeling towards a 7.5. I couldn't decide between like a 7 or an 8, so I think I've settled on a 7.5, which, you know, considering I think the week before that I gave it a 3, shows big improvement. Days shout out Magnifico, DJ Cosmic, and Nate Outlaw. Shout out to you guys. You sound like a new bunch of superheroes. I love it. By the way, I confirmed my Elite Top Picks Seth, the old one. It will arrive in 4 weeks. Very cool, dude. Aiden English 205 commentator is awesome. We got Shelton Benjamin backstage. There's the B team. So there's a queue of people that want to be guest ref. Okay. Oh, Matt Hardy's just come out. Senor Benjamin. I miss Matt Hardy. I wish they would use Matt Hardy more. Funhouse tonight. I think it might be. I think that was my favorite episode. You know, the Funhouse. Oh, we got Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. So we've got a moment of bliss with Bayley. Didn't we have Bayley on a moment of bliss a few weeks ago? Well, that was that. That was that. What is the deal with Alexa and coffee? I don't know. Someone in creative must be like, we've got this amazing idea, Alexa. Listen, hear me out. Coffee. Sorry, what? Coffee. Your new gimmick. Coffee. Okay, cool. Let's do this. Are you going to watch Fyter Fest and All Out? Yes. Not only am I watching it, we will be streaming them. I actually get this for commitment. I hope you appreciate this. I wanted to go to NXT UK TakeOver. I went to the Blackpool one. But I wanted to go to the Cardiff one. And Cardiff, actually, not that far from where I live. Like, I could get there just over an hour, I think. Maybe a little bit more, hour and a half. I could get to Cardiff in a car. So, not bad. So, I was really tempted to go to that because I really feel like they're going to make a big deal of that show. But I didn't because it's on the same day as All Out. So I will be here at home watching it so that we can live stream NXT UK TakeOver, and then, oh man, that day is going to be crazy because we're going to live stream NXT UK TakeOver and we're going to live stream All Out. So I don't even know when that is. August, something like that. So that's going to be a busy day. Busy days. Shout out to James Barry. Days, coffee is the Excelsior of life. You don't need to tell me, my friend. I start every stream with a hot cup of Joe. I believe they call it in America. I don't know why. But I enjoy a steaming hot cup of Joe. You'd be back by All Out. Well, I'm not sure because I don't know what time All Out starts. I'm guessing about 1 in the morning. If if NXT UK TakeOver finishes around about, say, 10, then that would give me 3 hours So, yeah, okay, with, getting out of there, getting to the car, a little bit of traffic, I might make it back just in time. But then I've got to set the stream up, and there's every chance that you hit some kind of delay. It was too risky. It just felt too risky. I was like a dragon in Dragon's Den. I'm out. I was out. What's your favourite Raw moment? I would say my favourite Raw moment was yesterday when we had a very short opening promo and then we went into a match. All right, that's my favourite ever moment. The realisation that things have changed, that we're doing something different. WWE are listening. WWE care. They actually care. So yes, that was my favourite ever moment. I mean, that might not be true. I could be lying, and by could be, I mean I am. But it's up there. It's definitely up there. Are you going to watch this Sunday? Yes, we are live streaming it. I'm going to be here with you guys. So yeah, and figure giveaways during that stream as well. So plenty to get excited about. Talking of excitement, here is Nikki Bliss, Alexa Cross. Do 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 do. So Nikki Cross will be in the corner of Alexa Bliss. Cheers for Nikki Cross there. Oh, we've got to go through some coffee. Oh, Bailey's on her way out. Bailey has got coffee? Has Bailey got Alexa's coffee? Guys, big breaking news right now. I think Bailey is drinking Alexa's coffee. I'm going to put that at the bottom. This is too big to ignore. Bailey is drinking Alexa's coffee. Can't believe it. Right there, streaming along the bottom right now. Bailey is drinking Alexa's coffee. So Bailey is saying to Nikki that Alexa is using Nikki. This is a bit flat so far. Coffee, I need alcohol to get through this. So Alexa says she knows the real Bailey. So Alexa says that Bailey made her feel worthless. Is that a dig? I don't know. Alexa says Bailey looks like she works at Forever 21. I thought that was like a fashionable, hip kind of a place. Oh yeah, where is Mickie James? Mickie James getting a mention. So Bailey says you're not a goddess, you're an entitled little princess. Good promo. Alexa is tiny. She is tiny. Shout out to Hussein the Rex. Yeah, G1 Climax should be good. Great lineup this year. Oh, okay, there's some good lines in this now. Alexa saying that Bailey peaked in NXT. Forearm smash by Bailey. Bailey heard enough. What's Nikki doing? Nikki needs to get in there. Nikki grabbing Bailey, hurling her off. I can't hear what the crowd are chanting. I don't know if they're chanting Bailey or Nikki. Well, there we go. Couple of good lines in that. That was a thing that happened. Yeah, it was all right. It was all right. We're backstage. We can see Zelina Vega and Apollo Crews. So Apollo says he's looking for Andrade. Ah, there he is! Andrade came running round the corner, attacking Apollo. Oh, look, I like what they're doing with Chad Gable. You got Chad Gable just standing, taking notes. And people say they don't like his new hair. I do. He reminds me of an amateur wrestler. Like, I fully expect him to put a head guard on. If he should do that, actually. He should come down with a head guard. Heavy Machinery against B-Team next. I'm really feeling what they're doing with Chad Gable. I know it's only like a little subtle thing, but I like his look. I like the fact that we're seeing him in the background, just taking notes. And I like the idea that he's like watching, observing, taking notes, working people out, and that when he finally does start having matches, will he be one step ahead? He's already one of the best wrestlers they've got. Don't sleep on Chad Gable. Chad Gable is a great wrestler. One of the best they've got. Like, Chad Gable against Andrade would be a crazy match. That would be great. That would be great. Chad Gable, Chad Gable's a little along the lines of Johnny Gargano. I would love to have seen Chad Gable have a little bit of a singles career. I just feel like when he was in NXT, they felt that he would have done better in a tag team. They struggled to get his personality over, so they put him with Jason Jordan. And then you had American Alpha, and they were just amazing. So that was it. He was then stuck in American Alpha. So yeah, we've not really seen too much of him from a singles point of view, but he's great. I can't wait to see what they do with him. Chad had match of the week on 205 Live last week. No, I didn't even know it was on 205 Live. That's cool. Is he on to it? Well, he can't be on 205 Live all the time because we've just seen him here. So perhaps he's having matches down there to get ready for his return to SmackDown. But yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a fan. Former Olympian. Yeah, I believe he is. I'm sure he was on the Olymp. I don't think he won any medals. Let's have a look. Let's have a look together, shall we? But I really like his new look. It feels legit. It feels like Chad Gable. Do you know what I mean? They're not doing anything stupid. Not like... Do you remember when he was with Bobby Roode? I hated that. Glorious Gable. I hated that. I know a lot of people liked it, and I think it worked better when he had the robe and they both did the entrances together. I thought that worked a little better, but the chemistry wasn't quite there for me. Right, let's have a look. Chad Gable. Was on the US Olympic trials, or he was the US Olympic trials champion. He was the Minnesota State Wrestling Champion for 2004. Won a gold medal at the Pan American Games. He competed at the 2012 London Olympics. Yes, so he was there. He was at the 2012 London Olympics. Cool, man. I am a fan of Chad Gable. Right, let's change this over because it is not a moment of bliss. It is the B team versus Heavy Machinery. That tag team was so bad. They have Matt Hardy on WWE YouTube every day, but they're not giving him a push on TV. I wonder why. I've not seen him every day. I've seen one video where he talks about it's not easy being Matt Hardy or something along those lines. He talks about the fact he has to get up a couple of hours before his kids so he can work out. Talks about the fact he only gets 6 hours sleep. And then he kept saying it's not easy being Matt Hardy. It kind of felt like a new gimmick, but I've not seen it go anywhere, so we'll have to see. I feel like social media is something that he does very well, and I think he even takes it upon himself, really, to kind of embrace social media and do things on YouTube and push himself there, but he can't really control if he gets used on the TV show or not. So maybe him being on the YouTube channel is down to him, but the fact we're not seeing him on WWE is down to creative. So we've got B Team against Heavy Machinery. Daniel Bryan on commentary saying that Heavy Machinery aren't very smart already. Tucker is in the B Team corner, getting stomped on. There we go. Daniel Bryan mentioning that Otis is a Pan-American champion. I like that. Daniel Bryan, in a roundabout way, putting over some of the emerging talent. That's exactly what Daniel Bryan should be doing. I think this is a great way to use Daniel Bryan. So Daniel is saying, look at the B team, look how serious they're treating this match. They knew the comedy wasn't getting them anywhere. Yeah, so Daniel saying he's trying to transform the tag team division that's been a joke for a long time. The only issue I've got with that, wasn't Daniel the general manager of SmackDown for a long time? So isn't this all Daniel Bryan's fault? Here comes Otis scooping up, spinning round. Clothesline to Curtis Axel. Otis staring at Rowan. He's hulking up here, Otis. He's getting kicked in the midsection, but he's... What is he doing? He's hulking up. Against the ropes. Picks up. Bo. Oh, yeah! He is a great talent, isn't he? You look at someone like Otis and you just think he could only be a wrestler. Either a wrestler or a trucker. It's the caterpillar. Pumps up. Drops the elbow. Tags in Tucky. One, two, three. There we go. Heavy machinery getting the victory. Now, if this was NXT, when these two teams finally face each other, Rowan and Daniel Bryan would get a clean win. NXT doesn't mind putting over heel teams, but the main roster doesn't like doing it. Like, when these two teams face, there's going to be some kind of skullduggery. And I'm sure that Rowan and Daniel Bryan will retain. But it won't be clean. And that's a real shame. I think that hurts the main roster. Seth's here! Seth with a steel chair! Seth Rollins taking out the B team! Here we go, look, the wild card, the Universal Champion is here. Ooh, if I was Matt Hardy or Shelton Benjamin, I'd lock myself away. Leave the arena. Seth has lost it, man. He is battering the B team. Crowd love it. Burn it down, chant. We've got a stretch limo. Is that Shane? Yeah, it feels like it is. Let's have a look. It is. Shane McMahon is here. Best in the world. So Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are talking to Shane McMahon. So Kevin Owens and Sami are talking to Shane, saying something needs to be done about Seth. How's this going to play out? Also, I just noticed Jason Jordan is on the side of a truck still. Because we're in the loading bay area at the moment. We've seen Cesaro on the side, which is cool. John Cena, Charlotte, that's all fine. I'm surprised Jason Jordan is on the side of one of them trucks. 2 out of 3 falls. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn versus Seth and Kofi. That is the exact thing that is wrong with WWE. Horrible. Horrible booking. Why? Oh my God, that's horrible. That actually makes me feel sick. I feel a little bit sick following that. When will they learn? When will they learn? We don't want all these stupid tag matches. These single stars being put into tag matches. We don't want it. This isn't what people want. Is anyone above the age of 5 excited for that match? I'd even be having stern words with people under 5. Let me be very clear here. Because I just don't think that is good booking at all. I don't understand how you're going to have a show on Sunday with, 2 championship matches, and you're going to put your champions in matches the Tuesday before. Now, I know that Shane's a heel, and he would do that, but still, it's stupid. It's stupid. I hate it. Didn't that happen last night? I don't know. Everything just bleeds into one now. This SmackDown, it's been okay. It's been okay. But it's not been as good as Raw. This is one of the first times I can honestly say that Raw, I think, is going to be the better show this week. I think Raw is going to beat SmackDown this week for quality. Right, we need to do a wheel. So, it's the Wheel of Fun. Everybody loves the Wheel of Fun. What was that? Is that the wheel? It's the Wheel of Fun. Ba-dum-bum. Wheel of Fun time. Wheel of Fun. Let's get the wheel. Let's get that wheel. I really like you. Okay, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. That's right. It was Triple H, not Shane. Did Triple H book the show last night? What happened? I don't know. Why was it different? Giveaway! I tell you what, we're giving some stuff away here, aren't we? Right, I'm going to give away another WWE Kids magazine. So, these are available in the UK. I know I keep saying this, but obviously I don't know if different people are watching, so I feel obliged to say the same things. But this is available in the UK. You get a money in the bank briefcase that you can actually fit figures in. And some top trump cards. Obviously, I'm on the front. Don't let that put you off. But I'm on the front as well. OMG, Pete Dunne! So, yes, we've got that. And I don't know, what else did I want to say? It's really good. You can get it around the world. If you go to WWE Kids Magazine on Twitter, I'm sure there's information there. So you can subscribe to this because it comes out every month and they normally have really good gifts. This is pretty exceptional though. I mean, let's just take a second there. Look at that. So yeah, we're going to give that away. You can win signed figures. Win signed action figures. Woo! What posters are in this? Lacey Evans, Kevin Owens, Rock, Bailey, Usos, Charlotte Flair, and AJ Styles. Right, so that will be given away at the next commercial break. Because we are back with Aleister Black. He's in a lovely suit. 3-piece suit. Why? So no one has answered Aleister Black's call. But you haven't got an opponent. The problem is, the person that might knock at his door might be his wife, Zelina Vega. I don't want to see him take her out. She's only small. So, Alistair Black says when someone does knock on his door, he's going to change the essence of that man. Here come the money. Money, 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 money. Dollar, dollar. Right, if you are watching, hit the subscribe. I can see that we've jumped up a little bit on the subs, which is fantastic. We are edging ever closer to 143,000. So if you are watching and you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe and see if we can sneak our way a little bit closer to that. So we've got Elias, who's made his way out. Drew McIntyre on his way as well. Goldberg might headbutt his door. Yes, very good. The sweatiest man in the world, Shane. Don't know. Right, so we've got Drew, Shane, and Elias. Elias looking well. Not good selling. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point. He was meant to be the guest ref, wasn't he? Very good point. Elias looking absolutely fine. I think he's got like a bandage. Is that a bandage on his elbow? He's not selling it. Boo, Shane McMahon, I hear you. So Shane says he doesn't need the introduction. So Shane says he's not here to talk about the incident that took place on Raw when Roman went storming into Shane McMahon's locker room. Drew McIntyre. He's got a very cool entrance jacket. It's got like spikes all over it. Is that new? I don't know if I've seen that entrance jacket before. It's nice. It's classy. Classy. I, for one, love our sweaty overlord. I don't always need boredom, but when I do, I listen to Shane McMahon. What? Yeah. What? Yeah, I think there is a little what chant from the crowd. I think the crowd feel like I do, just bored. What? Here comes the Miz. I'm actually yawning. That is what this show is doing to me. Bray Wyatt sucks. Yeah, he sucks away all the depression that's in the atmosphere of the WWE universe. That's what he sucks. He sucks away all the boredom. So Miz wants everyone in the ring to watch. It's a replay of Roman on Raw destroying the Revival and Shane and Drew, and that was cool actually. When he hurled Dash into that shutter, that was cool. Gotta give credit where it's due. Days, did you hear Ricochet got a private video leaked? People talking about it on Twitter. I didn't, and to be honest, I'm not that bothered. It's interesting. It's noteworthy, but I think that's a shame. All of that, even when it happened to like Paige, and I think that stuff's awful. Wouldn't it be great if Days has a job where he could interrupt live and say no? That's boring. Yeah. That little microphone thing there, go. Cut this segment, please. We've decided, the cringe crew have decided we're not enjoying it. Thank you. And then the segment ends. There's a little slow-mo here of the panic on the face of Shane McMahon as he's running away. Slow-mo as well as Roman delivers a Superman punch. And a spear. Shane not enjoying that. What I will say is I am enjoying watching Shane getting a little bit of comeuppance, you know? I think Shane actually is a good heel. Like, he's boring, but I do enjoy watching people get one over him, which I suppose is what a good heel does, isn't it? But take nothing away. He is boring. He is boring. I'm not saying he's not boring. Listen to what I'm saying. He's boring. Drew McIntyre, man, he is jacked, isn't he? Shane says that his father is a billionaire, but Miz's father comes from dirt. Nice. That was great. That was great from The Miz. That was great. The Miz saying that Shane sucks up all the airtime. This used to be the land of opportunity. The only opportunity now. Oh, that was good, man. That was a good promo. He is a good promo. When he gets going. So Miz says he was the one that sent Shane down this ego trip, and he will be the one to end it. And Days, what was that? Superman punch? Probably. Let's say it was. Miz telling it like it is. I know, it was good. Days, do you think the Demon and the Fiend would be a good tag team? No. And as a dream match, the Demon and the Fiend versus Brothers of Destruction. I wouldn't do it. I don't think you can have someone like the Fiend just standing on the apron. Like, for me, the Fiend, that is Bray Wyatt's darkness. It can't be controlled. I don't like the idea of him standing holding a tag rope, you know? Same with the Demon as well. The Demon is something we only see once in a while. Why is he going to be standing on the outside, hanging onto a tag rope, waiting for a tag? Can you tag me in? I just don't see that. We've got R-Truth. R-Truth is here. What is R-Truth doing? Why is R-Truth at ringside? Why does this guy not learn? Why is R-Truth at ringside? R-Truth trying to jump into the crowd to escape. He's got literally one leg on the barricade. So we've got R-Truth and The Miz tagging together against... hey, do you know what this show needs? Oh my god, do you know what this show needs? It needs more single stars being put in tag matches. That's what we need! That's what we need! We need to get more single stars into... Are you a single star? Single stars, come here. Come here, we need some tag matches. Yeah, yes, we could use the tag teams, but shut up. What we're going to do is we're going to use you guys, all of you single stars. We're going to do some tag matches. Come on, yeah! Tag match city! Yes, this is wrestling. This is wrestling. Thank God. Thank God. There is only 49 minutes left. That is all I'm saying. Right, so we have got... I'm very close to the mic, hello. We have got this magazine to give away. So that is going to be given away. Yeah, I said I'd do it in this ad break, and I'm a man of my word, right? So this is going to go to the 23rd person that gives me the word potato. 23rd person that gives me the word potato. Awesome Truth is back. WWE Tuesday Night Tag Teams. Do you know what? That's not the worst idea in the world. I'd be all right for Tuesday Night Tag Teams as long as it was a show just for tag teams about tag team wrestling, and you could actually develop some storylines, and it was just not single stars in tag team. You could maybe have like a once in a while and some kind of crazy exhibition match. I'd be okay with that, but you know what I'm saying. You feel me? This is rubbish. This is a rubbish. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Well done to Big Boy Bronson. Big Boy Bronson. So Hail Din and Big Boy Bronson. Can you both make sure that you send me your addresses to wrestlingdays@gmail.com. Big Boy Bronson. Well done, dude. Okay, so Awesome Truth versus Drew and Elias. Daisy's going to crack with all of these tag matches. I know. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I could end up in that same mental facility as Bray. Dave's put a poll up. Greg Baker will be defending against Praneel. Okay, I'll get that up now. Oh, I love this. I've got to give credit to Progressive. Progressive have done these kind of adverts before where they actually do a little showcase on a former superstar. They're just showing us now Mr. Fuji, who was a legend, an absolute legend. And I don't understand why WWE don't do something like this themselves. Why does it take a company to go back through WWE's archives to give us this little glimpse, you know? I mean, like, WWE could do such a good job of advertising the network. Do you know what I mean? Just do a little 5 minutes in each show about a different superstar. Here's AOP! Ah, we knew they were going to return soon. Oh, they've bumped into the Iconics. Ah, look at this. Yes. The Kabuki Warriors. And Paige. Paige here. Iconics saying that they're going to try and plunder their gold. Is this match going to get added to Stomping Grounds? Next week? Tokyo? They're in Tokyo next week. That Paige impression was epic. Oh, that was great. Paige doing that impression of Billy Kay and Peyton Royce. That was fun, man. Iconic. Why did Miz get 10 seconds when the commercial break was 3 minutes long? Elias, in all fairness, it does have padding or some kind of bandages around him, but that is literally the only reference to the beatdown that he suffered. He is in a match right now. So apparently Elias, not good enough to be a guest ref this weekend, but perfectly fine to actually be in a match. What is going on? What is this madness? Yeah, 7 years ago we had the Awesome Miz. No, the Awesome Miz. The Awesome Truth. R-Truth is in there with Elias, but Drew McIntyre has just been tagged in. Kicks to the midsection. Against the ropes. Oh, misses. Shane McMahon still at ringside, likes what he sees. So, what I don't understand, it's SmackDown in Tokyo next week. I need to have a look. I don't feel like it is. Right, we've got our poll up as well. Drew McIntyre covering R-Truth. There we go. So the poll is up. 40 minutes left. 40 minutes left. Page is awesome. Yeah. Has anyone checked on EC3? No. I don't know. He's in a bad place along with his career. Perhaps he won't be the ref because he doesn't want to get attacked with a chair again, not because he's injured. That's fine, but I need to be told that. Like, I don't want to be guessing that kind of a thing. I if that's the case, I want Elias to tell me. Because that's kind of an important piece of information. First time WWE Live, Raw, Smackdown. So someone in the crowd holding up a sign saying that this is their first Smackdown, I believe. I am sorry for them. I am sorry for them. There are live events in Tokyo in a week from Friday, Saturday, so I guess they're going early. Okay. That's a shame. I think a SmackDown in Tokyo would have been fantastic. Locker Room have come down. Shelton's grabbed the 24/7 title and he's just running circles around the ring. What is going on? R-Truth has snatched the title and is running away. R-Truth has been eliminated from the match. The superstars are in the crowd trying to chase after R-Truth. So Miz is on his own now, 2-on-1. So that hasn't worked out very well. As we go to a commercial break. If they're in Tokyo next week, that sucks for the superstars just getting back from Jeddah. Good point. If you believe that the Firefly Funhouse is in Bray's head, how do you explain them showing the set? Because it's all in his head. Like, the Fiend, which is Bray's darkness, is trying to, like, put on a performance inside Bray's head. He's trying to convince Bray to let him in. So the way that he's done that is by putting on a show. And it's quite clear that it's a show. There's an audience and there's audience noises and, it's all in Bray's head. So Bray might just be under the impression he's watching a show. So I don't think they're trying to hide the fact that it's a show. If you look at the set, it's very cheap. You can quite clearly see that isn't the sky outside the window. I will admit I was confused last week about this myself. I didn't know why they were showing it when you looked up at Bray, why you could see that it was a set. But actually, if it's all in Bray's head, then it doesn't matter what you see because it's all in his head. It's all in his mind. So it wouldn't matter if they left that building and went walking outside because everything you're seeing is in his head. So it doesn't matter if you see the set. It doesn't matter that you see a green screen. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter because I don't believe that it is a physical place. And as I said, I kind of back that up by the fact that the Fiend disappeared. Now, are we saying that the Fiend is some mythical creature that has the ability to flicker and disappear? Because that would seem a little bit more far-fetched than what I'm saying. I feel like the Fiend flickered and disappeared because Bray Wyatt finally let him in. And as well as that, the fact that Ramblin' Rabbit keeps getting destroyed but then keeps coming back, kind of again suggests that this isn't a physical place. Unless they're fixing him every single week. But again, that wouldn't explain why the Fiend keeps disappearing. Elias up top. Jumps down, gets kicked in the midsection by The Miz. Have you ever noticed Abby has never been inside the funhouse? She's always outside the door at the window. I have. I mean, yes, but I've never read anything into that because it just feels you do have that with shows like puppeteers, people keep their puppets in a certain place. That's like saying Mercy the Buzzard is always in the box. Why have we not seen Mercy's legs? So I kind of feel like I've never read anything into that as a result, basically. Yeah, I mean, it is food for thought. I tell you what interests me more about Abby the Witch. Why does she keep disappearing and reappearing? And when she reappears, there's always more flowers around her. So, like, Bray was gardening. Bray actually made a point of showing you the window and showing you how many flowers were there. And the pot in the middle was empty. So, he was gardening. And then when we went back to the window later, Abby was there and she had more flowers around her. That bothers me more. That I can't explain. Miz behind Elias. Ooh, nasty headbutt by Drew McIntyre. That headbutt was sickening. She's a witch, and with the sign on the door outside would be hell. Maybe Abby is in hell. I can definitely see your theory there. I can see the theory. Drew gets the pin on The Miz. Do. Mercy was outside the box when Ramblin' Rabbit was attacking him. Mercy was outside the box when Ramblin' Rabbit was attacking him. That's true. Well, he was over by the TV, wasn't he? Claymore by Drew. WWE should never do TV in Japan days. They did a Raw in Germany. It's the worst rated of all time. Then Vince went insane. Gave Russo the chance to be in the business. I don't know where to start with that. You're talking about a completely different era. I think that you could really make a Raw in Japan have a very different feel. I think if you built it up saying next week we're going to be in Japan, we're going to do these special matches, you know, why not have, to celebrate the fact they're in Japan, do Asuka against Bayley for the women's title, do Nakamura. Do you know what I mean? Put on a bit of a Japanese card like they would in UFC. And you could really build it up and make it something special. I honestly, mate, wouldn't look at the fact that they had a poor rated show in the 90s because they went to Germany. That would just wouldn't even factor into my mind at all. I would look to do more international shows. I just think, right, I mean, like, they could be anywhere right now, couldn't they? This SmackDown could be coming from Washington, could be coming from Florida, could be coming from Toronto, could be coming from New York. It makes no difference. Everywhere looks and feels the same. Like, wouldn't it be nice if the shows felt a little different depending on where they were? I mean, at least when they're in the UK, you get the big union flags and you get, well, you used to get, like, the taxi on the entrance ramp. And, you know, you used to get like a few little things. Now all you get is a little video package saying, look where we are, you know? So, I get what you're saying about the fact that that's why they're not doing it. But my counter argument is that they now should try again, give it a go, but really go for it. We're backstage with Ember Moon and Carmella. Is Ember looking for Mandy Rose? Yeah. So, Ember Moon is upset because Sonya Deville broke a video game? Oh, Ember Moon knocking the donuts. That was a beautiful right hand by Sonya Deville. Did you see how quick that right hand was then? That was a thing of beauty, man. Ember Moon, bang! Sonya. I like Sonya Deville. I think they could really build her up to be like a fighting machine. An LBGT fighting machine. Seth showing Kofi his battered chair. I can't see Bray debuting in Japan. No, because generally not a lot happens on episodes taking place outside of the States. Well, that's the problem, isn't it? This is what we're saying. Like, if you're gonna do it, do it. If you're gonna go for it, go for it. When they come to the UK, put on a bit of a UK flavoured show. You know, give Jack Gallagher. Where's Pete Dunne? Get Pete Dunne on the card. Get Pete Dunne on the card, even if he's not having a championship match. Give him an exhibition match against Ricochet or something on Raw. Give it a different flavour. That would be awesome. That would be really, really cool. So, like, when they come to the UK, they could do something along those lines. They don't have to do it every time, because they do come over a couple of times a year. But I do feel like they could explore, you know, going to Japan, going to Australia. Just go around a little bit. Don't just keep it in America. And if you are going to keep it in America, at least mix it up a little bit. You could give us some, like, themes, you know? Just something different, rather than the same all the time. Do you think the Bray Fiend situation will be similar to... I'm literally just reading that and then it jumped off screen. Maybe Bray is continuing to bring more flowers to Abby's grave. I like that. I like that. Do you think Becky is jealous because Seth Rollins is spending more time with the chair? Yes, I like that as well. Does Stomping Grounds have a theme? Yeah, it does. They have shown it a couple of times. I can't remember what it is. It's not stuck in my head and I can't even remember it, but there is an official theme for it. Daisy, are you ready to watch the hardest thing in wrestling, the G1? I'm going to be honest, I won't be watching all of it. It takes way too much of my time, but I will dip in for certain matches. And it always entertains. It always delivers the goods, doesn't it? So, yeah, it should be very exciting. Maybe Bray is returning tonight on SmackDown. No. Will he debut at Stomping Ground or in 2 weeks? I think he's next week. I don't think they'll bring him out at... They could do. But I think that they will... I think they're all about ratings, aren't they? They want to improve the Raw and SmackDown ratings. So why would you give it away on the pay-per-view. It's all changed now. The whole thing has flipped on its head. Before, you used to use TV to promote the pay-per-views. Now TV is arguably more important because the pay-per-views are just on the network. So WWE have kind of reached a bit of a plateau with network subscriptions. They're not really going up. They're not really going down. I think they're at around 1.5 million, maybe 1.8, something around that ballpark. So it's just kind of steady now. So for me, it would make more sense to debut Bray on Raw. In fact, I'm quite surprised they haven't said that he will finally make his debut next week, you know. I'm surprised they haven't done that. To get people ready to tune in next week. So, who knows? Maybe he will appear at Stomping Grounds. If I was booking it, I would just have a little tease. A little moment at Stomping Grounds that basically tells you he's going to be at Raw. I don't think I would have it like at the bottom saying he's going to be at Raw. But I would do something. Maybe have him attack someone. Leave a note or something like that, you know. The Fiend is here. Or maybe even just a bit of paper with like the Fiend's face drawn on it. That would send the message. People would tune into Raw then. All you'd have to do is just get the rumour back out that Bray Wyatt is at Raw. Do you think AEW refusing to publicly say their buy rates for Double or Nothing means it didn't do as good as they hoped? Well, I don't know. I mean, wasn't it reported that they did 100,000 buys? Is that not confirmed? I thought Meltzer reported that. So, I don't know. To be honest, they were charging $50 in America for it. So, if they got anywhere near 100,000, I think they've got to be pleased with that. I can't believe it'd be under that. Meltzer was reporting 100,000, which is good for a first-time pay-per-view that's $50. Look at those extra flowers. Join us! I love Rambling Rabbit. Join us! People worship what they fear. Let him in. I've had people telling me the Follow the Leader is a Korn reference. I believe that's one of their albums, and obviously Bray is into his metal music. I love some of these songs as well. Pull up your pants, do the muscle man dance. A lot of people think that's Eminem as well. I've seen a lot of people saying that's Eminem. If you listen to it, it's not. Pull up your pants, do the muscle man dance. What do you think Bray's theme song will be? Did you see he was trying to get a Slipknot song? Yeah, I don't want him to get a Slipknot song. I'd use some kind of version of the Funhouse theme, I think. Are they pizza boxes? Someone told me that was a piece of pizza in the hand of Huskus and... Oh, there. We've got R-Truth. R-Truth, there's a ref. That's not Carmella. Who's that? It's Drake Maverick. Drake Maverick dressed as Carmella. Oh, who's in the car? he done it? He's pinned him! He's pinned him! Drake Maverick! Drake Maverick has driven off. R-Truth still thinks it's Carmella. R-Truth has dropped the title to Drake Maverick. Oh, love it. That was fun, man. I tell you, this 24/7 championship, it has been one of the best things that they've brought in this year. It's ugly. It's ugly as hell, but it's really working. And actually, Drake Maverick's just said he's getting married. Does that mean we're going to see a title change at a wedding? We're going to see a title change at the wedding, aren't we? Watch this space. Truth is awesome. That was fun, man. That was good. Days, after you see the radio stations backwards, there's a flash of a person who is not Bray, nor anyone in the Funhouse. Is that Phoebe working behind the scenes and controlling the Fiend? The only thing I saw when I went through the video was the shadow of someone coming forward like this. And I've got to be honest, I didn't read much into that because I think they were kind of using maybe like some stock imagery. So that quick montage was kind of there to... Well, look, you know how I saw it. If you saw my video, then you know how I saw it. I saw that as Bray kind of struggling with himself. He was kind of going through the different channels in his mind, and it was the same song and the same message, whatever he was trying to do. So I saw it as Bray struggle, basically. And that could just be his demons approaching. It could also be someone approaching Bray. I mean, yeah, it's really hard. It could be something. It could be absolutely nothing. Because I think there's a lot of stuff going on in the Funhouse in the sense of, I do think there's references to Bray's past. I do think there's like inside jokes in there as well. But then equally, you've got important information. So trying to decipher what is tough, hard, close to impossible. It's going to be really, really interesting to see how this opens out. Because my theory is just that. It's a theory. It's kind of based on old tweets, built upon what other people have theorized, some of my own ideas in there. And I think the general consensus is that this is going on inside his head. If you look at a lot of what people are talking about when it comes to Firefly Funhouse theories, that's kind of the accepted theory at the moment. There's obviously other theories out there that try and challenge that, but I gotta be honest, I haven't seen anything that kind of fits as well as that theory. I mean, there's people saying that it's hell, that he's in limbo and he's in hell. I struggle with that, because if he's in hell, how is he going to get back to wrestle? And are we really exploring a supernatural, paranormal world? That doesn't feel very WWE. They don't tend to do that kind of a thing. I know we had The Undertaker, and I know The Undertaker got a little bit, like at Royal Rumble when he ascended up to the heavens. And so I know there's been a few moments. In 2019, I'm just not sure if they would be doing that. I don't know. I don't know if WWE would go down the road of that being hell. So that's why I struggle with that. I think you can explain a lot more if it is in his head. So I could talk all night about the Funhouse. I am fascinated by it. Absolutely fascinated by it. The theories that I present are the ones that work for me and fit for me. But if you see a different way, or you see something different, or you think you can find something else that fits and works for you, more power to you. That's what I say. Because I am definitely 100% not sitting here saying I am right. I am not doing that. I'm just presenting what I think is going on. And I can't wait to find out what it is. I really can't. It's been amazing. It's been one of my favorite wrestling storylines ever. I think it's been that good. Right, we've got... Wow, I can't believe it. I've just seen the time. We've only got 15 minutes of the show left. Right, so we have got Seth and Kofi versus KO and Sammy in a quick little 15-minute match. Like I said, the big loophole in the theory is the fact the announcers acknowledge we are watching a physical weekly episode presentation with the Funhouse. Well, I do understand that. If it's going on in his head, how can you see inside his head? I do appreciate that is a stumbling block. We have been down those kind of roads before in wrestling. I just feel like there's too much that happens in the Funhouse that you struggle to explain otherwise. It's definitely... I do see where you're coming from. I do understand that is the big stumbling block. I hate what Michael Cole says before it anyway. Like, before yesterday's episode, he said... I can't remember what his exact words were, but he said, and it was live... And we all got excited thinking it was going to happen in the ring because we heard that Bray was there. Turns out it wasn't live. It wasn't live, wasn't in the ring or anything like that. It's the whole presentation beforehand from Michael Cole. I hate it. I don't think it adds to it at all. If anything, it cheapens it. What do you think about EC3's career? I don't know enough about it. We see a physical location of where Bray is or might be, so it isn't impossible that someone else or others might be with him. No, it could be others with him. Still doesn't mean it's not in his head. Maybe we are seeing what Bray is seeing. Yeah, look, I'm standing by my theory. It's still the theory that best works for me and fits for me, and it's the one that makes the most sense for me. Okay, so we've got all four competitors at ringside. Number one trend worldwide. Hashtag SD Live. Days, if we could go to a show like this, would you? Because these shows are... I can't even see what that emoji is. First of all, quick win for Kofi, who's got a quick pin already. So this is a 2 out of 3 falls match, and that's quick for Kofi. Bye, Harsh. Thanks for joining us. Well, that happened. Yes. No, Riddler situation. I don't know enough about that situation, dude. Right, we are at the point where I think we need to do a Wheel of Fun. Do we need to do our last Wheel of Fun? Let me just put up this poll before I do the wheel. I only need first names because there's only 2 people in it. So Greg or Praneel, who do you want to win? I'll put this up for a quick, probably 5-minute poll. Winner takes all. Greg versus Praneel. Winner takes all. 5-minute poll. That's going up now. Boom. Right, it's the Wheel of Fun. Everybody loves the Wheel of Fun. What was that? Is that the wheel? It's the Wheel of Fun. Ba-dum-bum. Wheel of Fun time. Wheel of Fun. Let's spin it round. You spin me right round, baby, right round. Okay, let's see what it lands on. I hope it doesn't land on Championship now. That would be a nightmare. Oh, no. That is a nightmare. That is Championship. Okay, so, well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. We are actually going to take that down. We've only had 2 votes and it's 50-50. So I'm going to take that poll down. This person can join that poll. How about that? This person will get into that poll. That poll will become a triple threat. So triple threat poll going up for the championship. Take this away. So the 17th person that gives me the word lucky, 17th person that gives me the word lucky, you will get into that poll. 17th person that gives me the word lucky. To vote, you go to at Wrestling Days on Twitter. Okay, here we go. Two, three. Well done to Brian Schaffer. So, well done to Brian Schaffer. Brian Schaffer, you are in this triple threat match. So, we've got Brian Schaffer. We've got Praneel Panchagavi. And we've got Greg Baker. Okay, so winner takes all. 5-minute poll. That is going up right now. This is a quick little triple threat. If you want to vote, just go to Twitter and go to at Wrestling Days. So I'll give you a minute to get over to your Twitter account so you can vote. This is only a quick 5-minute poll. I can tell you this match is still going on. Kick out by Seth. And again. So Twitter at Wrestling Days. And then you will be able to vote in this poll. Paul Heyman is backstage watching. Okay, is everyone on? That poll is going up now. There it is. Winner takes all poll down there. It's up for 5 minutes. Boom. Days, where you said about someone convincing Bray to fight is darkness. What if that person is Luke Harper? Yeah, that could be cool. I wouldn't do that anytime soon. I would just do that well into the future. But I do think for like an interesting story, having Bray fight himself, the Fiend, or fight what he thinks is the Fiend. Like, he could be tricked into thinking that that is his darkness somehow. Maybe he suffers a big loss. Maybe he suffers in a couple of years' time. He suffers his first big loss. It hits his confidence. Someone says that they can help rebuild him. They claim to be able to take the darkness away. And that's where he ends up having a match against someone who is dressed as his darkness. I appreciate that it sounds a bit clunky. It would definitely need work. I think what I'm more focused on is like a Funhouse Bray versus the Fiend in a match. Don't care really how you get there. I feel like there's a way of getting there, but I just think as like a spectacle, that could be a lot of fun. I really think that could be a lot of fun. Certainly if they book Bray Wyatt right over the next couple of years. Days, what if this wedding for Drake Maverick isn't actually real and the bride turns out to be R-Truth or EC3? Dude, that is happening. I think it'll be a real wedding, but I definitely can see R-Truth in a bride's dress right now. I'm with you on that. I can picture Brock Lesnar in a pink miniskirt going on a date with Seth. Aleister Black versus Undertaker, a passing of the torch. Yeah, that would be cool. We've only got 3 minutes left. Kofi going over, kick to the face. Crossbody by Kofi. 2. Who do you think will be the ref? I like C Wrestling's idea. I like the idea that it could be Heath Slater. The giant gaping hole in the theory of it being in his head is the acknowledgement from the announce team that we are watching the actual show and also the promote. Yes, someone said that. I thought you'd already just said that. I agree that it is. I wouldn't say it's a hole, actually. I understand that being able to see in his mind and have that displayed on screen is weird. But if you look at it as a character development point, if you look at this as a TV show, if you look at this as there's going to be a reveal that Bray is actually in a mental institution, and it turns out what we've been watching is inside his head, you know, a little bit like you would in a film, in a movie. I think people would go with that. So I appreciate it's weird. I think this whole thing is weird. I think this whole thing is different. I struggle with the hell concept because why would you be seeing hell? Why would hell be shown on the Titantrons? So first of all, why would they show you hell? Then you're getting into this whole there is a hell religious thing. And I don't know. I don't. That doesn't work for me. I'm struggling with this. There's a lot of people that think the Funhouse is limbo, that it's a form of purgatory, and that they're in an actual place. I really struggle with that. I would like to explore, I suppose, the theory that it's Bray putting on a TV show. Maybe, you know, step away from the in its head idea and maybe explore a little bit more that it is Bray putting on a TV show.
and just kind of see where we can go with that theory. I'd be down for that. But I disagree that there's a big gaping hole in the theory just because it's being shown on the Titantron. I understand that it's a stumbling block for people, and I understand that it would be a stretch for people. But I think, again, if you look at it as TV show, new character, getting across the fact that he's mentally unstable, getting across the fact that he's snapped, then WWE might feel that they have to go down that road of tricking us and showing us something that's, going on inside his mind, and, something that is a little bit different. They've done stuff like that before. Do you remember Hogan looking in the mirror and he saw the Ultimate Warrior, but then someone else would walk into the room and they couldn't see the Warrior in the mirror? So wrestling does have a history of those kinds of things. But I fully appreciate it's a jump. I am not disagreeing with you on that. So, but it's even sitting here right now and thinking of other theories. That is still the theory that works best for me and answers all of the points and the questions that are raised. But I'm not going to sit here and say that is the answer. I'm not going to do that because I don't know, do I? I'm the same as you guys. I've only seen what you've seen. So if there's other theories out there that people think that they can get it to fit a different way, then I'm definitely interested in reading and hearing about those. But yeah, I can only tell you what works for me. Right, I can tell you that the match quickly ended because the show just quickly ended. So yeah, it was. I think Seth and Kofi won, but again, that's the big problem. Who cares? I wasn't even watching at the end. It's bad, isn't it? Like, this is a SmackDown live stream, and I wasn't even watching because it didn't matter who won, and that's the big problem. Brian has won, though. That matters. So we do have a new champion with 67% of the vote. He's come in at the end and stolen it. Brian Schaefer. So we do have a new champ. Well done, dude. Days, did you miss the end? I missed it. I think it was Seth and Kofi that got the win. Who cares? 3 out of 10 show, says C Wrestling. I agree. It didn't hold my attention. Days, did you get the crack in your hallway fixed yet? No, I still need the gold subscription plaque to cover that. Because it is... it's getting bigger, actually. It's the house could fall down. I think you'll get a Joker scene where Bray will destroy the hospital and walk away, freeing the Fiend to invade WWE. I'd love that. I think that's really cool. I think that would be really cool. Do you stream pay-per-view reactions? Yes, we do these streams for all WWE pay-per-views. So we are back. I want to say we're back on Saturday for UFC. But I haven't looked yet to see what show it is. I'm guessing it's just going to be a fight night, but there's usually some good fights on those. So we should be back on Saturday for one of them. And then Sunday, Stomping Ground, we are 100% doing that. We will be starting probably about 10 minutes, 15 minutes before the kickoff show. So have a look whenever the kickoff show is. We'll be live 10, 15 minutes before that. We'll go straight through the kickoff show, straight through the whole main show. We'll do figure giveaways, live thoughts, analysis. You guys, as ever, epic. Leaving your comments, your thoughts, and yeah, we'll take it from there. Should be fun. I don't think it's going to be an exceptional show. There's obviously potential for Bray to return at Stomping Ground, make his presence felt. Obviously, there's potential for Brock to try and cash in, or there's a few curveballs that they could throw in there. So I think it's going to be a show worth watching. But I don't know what to expect is the truth, so we'll have to wait and see. Vince was the devil the week before Bray put the poem on the door. Vince was the devil the week before Bray put the poem on the door. I thought we saw Vince the first time Bray put the sign up. We didn't see the Vince puppet before that. Are you saying there was a reference to Vince before that? I'd have to go back and look. If he's going to be wrestling as The Fiend, then he should be winning every match, yes. I hope he doesn't wrestle every match as The Fiend. I want him to use it like Balor does the Demon, so we just see it once in a while. And to be honest, I don't want to see Bray wrestle each week. I don't want to be overexposed to Bray Wyatt. It's fine to see him each week, but just a backstage segment will do. Very few matches. I don't want to see him in many matches. And I want to see The Fiend in even less. So it doesn't matter if you're big, if you're tall, Big Show and Andre, they would still be stronger. No, I disagree. I think he will attack Roman or Randy if he has a match. I think he will attack Roman or Randy. Well, look, the only thing is, he's been on Twitter reaching out to superstars saying that he forgives them and he apologizes. So Bray on Twitter isn't actually looking to start fights. He's actually looking to end them. So it's kind of hard to know who he's going to go after, because this version of Bray doesn't seem to want to start a fight with anyone. The Fiend will. The Fiend will go after anyone. I really believe The Fiend will attack anyone and everyone. He doesn't care. But the Bray, whatever Bray it is that's on Twitter, seems to be reaching out and apologising to people. So, the first time was the exercise episode. Then he put the sign up last week. First time was the exercise episode, and then he put the sign up last week. I'd have to go back. I've watched that much of it, and it's all blurred into one now. I literally spent 8 hours today going through all of the videos, playing them backwards, going through freeze frames. I've really gone through this in a lot of detail, which is why I'm interested in hearing people's theories on it. I've said in the videos that I want to hear what people have got to say. Because I'm fascinated by it, is the truth. Do you think Spud should step down as the 205 Live GM and actually get a push? To be honest, I think they're probably doing the most with him they can at the moment. The roster is so stacked. There's not a place for him. The mid-card scene is incredible. Rockstar Spud or Drake Maverick is not going to be able to compete with the likes of Andrade or Ali or Nakamura, and that's your mid-carders. You go up to the next level where you got Brock, Seth, AJ, Daniel Bryan, obviously Kofi at the moment. It's hard to see where he falls in that bracket. At the moment, he's at the bottom. 24/7 championship is, for talent that you don't see that often. I can't see him getting above that point, if I'm being honest. Do 205 Live. 8 hours sounds like days already. Let the Fiend in. I know. I am tired. I've only had a couple of hours sleep, which is why I'm maybe not as with it. Days, I want to play for WWE, but I'm not 18, I'm 12. When I do hit 18 and join WWE, that will be my dream. Well, good luck, my friend. Give it a shot. 160 people are here now, and the show's over. What, you want to watch 205? I haven't even got the TV on for 205. How long's it on for? I mean, I'm not doing anything. I was just going to put up a few reaction videos. Just have a look, see what people were saying. But if this is what people want, I'll have a look at it as a one-off. Pull up your pants, do the muscle man dance. It's going to take ages to set up that. Well, not ages. But I don't have the speediest of TVs. Well, actually, it's moving quite quick, although saying that it is 3:10. Okay, we've got 205 on. I do like the Singh brothers, actually. Singh brothers take mad bumps, don't they? Pull up your pants, do the muscle man dance. Okay, so, well, let's watch. I mean, it's on for 40 minutes. We've missed the first 10. So we got Lucha. It's not Lucha Brothers, is it? What the hell am I on about? I've got AEW on my mind. Lucha House Party. Lucha House Party! There we go. Days, now that I think about it, to me, the cult seems to have been observing him the first 8 episodes, but the 9th, he seems to be spewing their message. This past episode sounded really rehearsed, like a sales pitch for a cult. Yeah. I agree. I read into that he is... The Fiend has constructed the Funhouse to recruit Bray Wyatt, to convince Bray Wyatt to accept the Fiend, to accept his darkness, to let the darkness take over. So the Funhouse and the episodes of the Funhouse have all been designed to get Bray Wyatt to let the darkness in. That's basically the main theory I have in the video. So that's what I believe. I understand what people were saying earlier, that there's a problem with that. Why would you be seeing inside his mind on the screen? And I do understand that. I disagree that it's a big problem, because I think that we've seen things like that in the history of wrestling. I also think that WWE would use that kind of technique to display the fact that Bray was losing his mind, to display the fact and to show you how messed up Bray is. For you to really understand how messed up Bray is, you need to see what's going on in his mind. So I think for WWE to show you that, I don't think that's that big a deal. I don't think that's that big of an issue. But I do understand that for people, it's potentially a problem. And I'm still open to hearing other theories on it, so... Singh brothers, nice super kick. So... They used to wrestle in Global Force Wrestling. They used to be under the name the Bollywood Boys. It's a shame they can't use that anymore. Bang. I wonder what the dart match is that's convincing, because you know they always put on a dart match on SmackDown to convince the audience to stay. I wonder what that dart match is. I think in London it was Baron Corbin versus Seth. And I gotta be honest, it didn't convince that many people to stay. I can't quite remember what the dart match was now. But I wonder what it is tonight, because they've already seen Kofi and they've already seen Seth. I wonder if Roman's there. I wonder if it's Roman. Last week he did say, want me to get the Fiend, so you could be right as he refers to him as a separate entity. Refers to him as a separate entity. Yeah. You can fry your brain with it. There are no fans behind the camera through SmackDown. Lots of pictures on Twitter. Well, actually, I was just distracted because I think there's a whole section to the right that's like covered over. I've got like the Singh brothers doing a really good job here. Days outside the door of the Funhouse is hell. Bray's personal hell, mind hell, because Vince came out as a devil and the Finn is a demon. And the Finn is a demon. The Fiend is a demon in Bray's mind. Interesting theory. The Singh brothers getting the victory. So the Singh brothers, I think, broke one of the pinatas open, and Nigel McGuinness says that's the same as emptying out the contents of Undertaker's urn. We've got Noam Dar. What do you think about the Miz career? I think he's had a good career. He probably should be competing for the WWE title. The big saying is let him in. There is a door. Heard a rumour that Eric Young and Nikki Cross could join Bray. Warren, that's an old theory that I think people have like moved away from now. Days in the USA on Raw after Money in the Bank. I was at the show and the dark match was before the show started. They don't need people to stick around, do they? Once Raw finishes, they don't really need a dark match for Raw. I think they do them occasionally. I don't think they do them every week. But with SmackDown, they need the audience to stay for 205 Live. So they trick them by giving them a match that we don't ever see. I don't think I have a purple background, Yusuf. Why was tonight's episode the same as yesterday? It always is. You only get one a week and they show the same episode on Raw and SmackDown. It's like Monsters Inc. with all these doors. Good point. Days, if Bray does debut, do you think that he's going to be fighting or just doing another promo? I don't think he would have a match. I don't think he would have a match because he doesn't seem to want to have matches. He hasn't really got a problem with anyone. Someone asked earlier what the Stomping Ground theme was. It is Ex-Ambassadors. Boom. That is the theme. Days, this is just a theory, but I think it's a better way to use all the talent. Take away the wild card and let people vote on the website. Yeah, you could do that. The only issue is... No, you couldn't do that. The reason you couldn't do that is because of traveling. Like, you would need... People need to know where they're going to be. Like, there's house shows. I mean, there's every chance that there's, like, a Raw house show tonight. So they need to know in advance what stars need to go where. So if you start putting fan polls into it, then it starts getting very confusing. Then you're going to have to do it well in advance so that you can get everyone's travel sorted. And then if you're doing it that far in advance, people might change their minds anyway. So I think it becomes quite messy. I like the idea. I like the premise. I just think it's very difficult to make it work practically. For me, Days, I know much of this is in Bray's head, but where I struggle is that we are getting physical locations in addition to seeing what is in his head. So I guess how much is in his head and how... What do you mean we're getting physical locations? What do you mean? Sorry, how much of this is in his head and how much is what we're seeing in the real world? I am of the opinion, and again, it's just my theory, but I think everything you've seen is in his head. I don't believe anything in the Funhouse is real. I don't think the Funhouse is real. I think that the Funhouse is the Fiend's way of convincing the real Bray Wyatt, who we haven't seen, to let the darkness in. When Bray and the Fiend are saying, let me in, they're talking to the real Bray Wyatt that we haven't seen. The real Bray Wyatt is in a mental institution, in my opinion. The real Bray Wyatt is locked away. What you see on the screen is what he is going through right now. You are seeing his mental process. What you're seeing on screen is Bray Wyatt struggling with himself, struggling with his own darkness. And at the end of that episode, the Fiend disappeared. And that's because I think the struggle ended. I think the struggle was over. I think the Fiend won. I think the darkness won. I think Bray let him in. When they say join us, I think they're talking to Bray Wyatt, the real Bray Wyatt. I think they're asking the real Bray Wyatt to join us. Come on, join. It's safe here. Join the Funhouse. I've built this for us. Join us. Let me in. It's all to convince the real Bray Wyatt to escape where he is. To accept the darkness. So I'm of the opinion, and it is just a theory, and it could be wrong, but I'm of the opinion everything you're seeing in the Funhouse is in Bray's head. Brian Kendrick just getting a victory. Hello to hashtag save your internet, lol. Like seeing the building and the rooms in the last episode, is that what we are seeing through Bray's eyes, or is that what we are seeing that's been made up in his mind? I believe that's been made up in his mind, and the reason I say that is because those images of the buildings had words on them, so I don't think you're seeing that through Bray's eyes, because why would the words be there? And those words were let him in. It's still another tactic. It's another way of the darkness, the Fiend, trying to get his message across. The changing of the radio, the montage clips at the end of the episode, I'm of the opinion was the real Bray Wyatt struggling with his darkness, struggling with himself, fighting himself, struggling to find a way forward, searching for what the right thing to do is. he was changing the radio station in his mind. The same message was on each station. The same song was playing on each station. He couldn't escape that. He's got the Fiend, the puppets, everything saying, let me in, join us. And at the end, he finally succumbed to them, let them in. Did let the darkness in. And I don't know, I get the feeling that was the last Funhouse episode. I would love it if at Stomping Ground we see a mental institution and we kind of go through the door, up the stairs. Maybe it's an abandoned mental institution, into a room, and in the corner, cowering, shivering, Bray Wyatt. And that's it. That's all you need. That's all you need. Could you imagine if you saw that? You go through this mental abandoned building. Looks like a hospital. You through the door, up the stairs, down the corridor, into this room, padded room, and in the corner, shivering, cowering, Bray Wyatt. We've got Mike and Maria Kanellis, and they're talking to Jack Gallagher. Braun Strowman versus Wrestling Days. There's a new episode tonight. If you are watching and you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe. Mike Kanellis seems very upset. So, Mike and Maria Kanellis saying that WWE executives have tried very hard to keep them. I actually don't know why they've kept them. If Mike and Maria Kanellis were to go to AEW, would anyone care? I'm not being nasty. I'm asking a legit question. Are they really going to bring eyes to AEW? So Jack Gallagher says next week he's going to have a match with Mike Kanellis. And Mike Kanellis seems quite happy with that proposal, so there we go. Can you watch Gable versus Gallagher from last week? Would love to see your reaction. It's the first match on last week's 205 Live. Dude, I have got to go after this. I shouldn't even be here now. And I have got to get like some reaction videos up. And I'm probably going to get an early night as well. Maybe we can have a look at it at some point. Maybe we could watch it before Stomping Ground or something. Dave's Stomping Ground in the US was an amusement park for kids to go crazy, like a fun house. Well, I hope there's some reason for that stupid name. Days, you look tired. I am tired. I've said that I was tired. I only had a couple of hours sleep since we started the Raw stream. So I've only slept for a couple of hours in the past 24... Wow, longer than that. Probably past 36 hours. I've only had a few hours sleep. So, yeah, this is just additional, isn't it? This 205 Live. So I'm kind of quite chilled right now. Yes, it will always be a secret. Days, maybe at Stomping Ground, the Fiend is going to cut a promo saying run, and then it cuts to a screen that says Monday. Yeah, could do that. I don't think he's really using the run catchphrase anymore. So I don't know. I don't know if I like the idea of saying Monday, like the Fiend is coming on Monday. There's got to be a better way of saying that he's going to be on Raw. I think I'm still into the idea of someone being beaten up backstage, and maybe even on their face, they've got like face paint that's been put on them to look like the Fiend, and that's like the Fiend's calling card or something. That would do. You don't even need to say Monday. People will look at that and get excited. People will look at that and go, he's here. He's here. He's just attacked someone. I mean, was the Joker doing something like that? Did the Joker used to put Joker makeup on his victims? I'm not sure. But maybe the Fiend could do something along those lines. That could be fun. Right, I believe, have got the main event match here. This is going to be Arya Daivari. Daivari versus Oney Lorcan. What do you think about Jake Maverick being 24/7 champ? I think it's cool. I like it. He said he was going to a wedding, so I am fully expecting a title change at that wedding. I think someone in the chat said, could we see R-Truth dressed as the bride? And I'm definitely expecting that. Definitely expecting that. So I think more to come on that front over the next few days. But yeah, nice little surprise. Probably the best thing that happened on SmackDown tonight. Days, do you do this for a living? No, I do this for a living. I used to have a job. I want to say 2017, the start of 2018. So start of 2018 is when I started to try and do this on a permanent basis, and it's hard work. I know that sounds stupid, but I can say that. I absolutely can say that because I had a real job for 15 years, and this is as hard because it's constant. You can't, with a job, you can kind of clock off. You can't with this because there's always things happening. There's always like breaking news or like obviously streams that need to be done and stuff like that. The difference is that this doesn't feel like a job. This is just, you know what I mean? It's just something that I'm passionate about, and I absolutely love it. So it doesn't feel like work, doesn't feel like a job, but it takes all of your time. Like, I can't tell you the last time. I didn't even get a chance to go to the cinema to watch fighting with my family. And then, like, there's loads of people that ask, oh, have you seen this YouTuber? Or have you watched this movie? Or have you done that? The answer is no, because you don't get the time to do it. There's not the time. It's hard to find that time, but yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it. Days, would you be mad if we get another Funhouse Monday instead of Bray making his debut? No, I wouldn't be mad. I would question how and where they were going with it, because it really felt like that one we saw this week was the end. Certainly with the Fiend disappearing at the end, and the fact that he was trying to convince whoever. I feel like it's Bray, but you might think it's other people. Trying to convince people to join us, to let us in. And that message was louder than ever this week. So kind of, it felt like it built up to this crescendo. I don't know where they would go after that. How do you get paid? Well, you can't earn money from YouTube until you've got 1,000 subscribers. And I think 40,000 hours watch time in a year, in the past 12 months. So you already have to have a pretty big channel before you can even start making money. So it's hard to get there. I've been doing it since early, like January 2016. So I've been doing it every day for 3.5 years. That's every day. I mean, there's like 2,800 videos on the channel. And yeah, you know, I love doing it, but it is a lot of work. It's a lot of work. 14 wild cards. I don't even bother counting them now. Days, what's your real name, Days? I googled it and it said it was Christian. Let's go with that then. Let's go with that. Reminder to everyone, Drake's best man at his wedding is EC3. That's, yeah. I'm expecting a lot to gatecrash that wedding now that he's the champ. I think there's going to be... I think EC3 will try. I think that R-Truth could potentially try and be the bride. I'll tell you what I'm a little distracted by at the moment, and that is the ring attire of Oney Lorcan. He looks like Macho Man. I love it. Orange trunks and orange knee pads, yellow boots. He's got a bit of a Macho Man vibe. Lorcan went to hit Daivari. It's been reversed into a... He's dropped it down with a sleeper hold. What do you think about the wild card? I think it's rubbish. Days, can you do a Draw My Life video on the channel? No. Not trying to get into personal business, but would you say you make more money from YouTube at your level than making minimum wage at a 9-to-5 job? I would say that it is... I would say YouTube is maybe a little better than a minimum wage 9-to-5 job. The reason that I hesitate saying that is because with a 9-to-5 job, you know what you're getting each month. With YouTube, you haven't got a clue. It all depends on how the videos perform. You could make the same amount of videos every month and get paid totally different amounts because it's all about how those videos connect with people. So, like, the views are so important, and watch time, how long people watch for, and likes and comments and shares and all of that stuff. So important. And I'm quite happy to admit I make enough to scrape by. There is no gallivanting around, going on holidays and things like that. I would say it's quite comparable to a minimum wage job. The only disadvantage is you don't know what you're getting paid. I mean, the plus side is, you know, if it's, say, December and people are watching a lot of videos and maybe they're looking for gift ideas and you're doing a lot of, like, toy videos or something and they're doing really well, then you might have a really good month. But then in the summer, for whatever reason, maybe everyone goes away. Like, around this time of year, it's hard work. It is hard. Really difficult. Because I think a lot of people just go away. And so the views just go down. Like, it's not WrestleMania season. People aren't really watching wrestling at the moment. You know, it's not WrestleMania. It's not SummerSlam. There's not really a buzz. Wrestling's on a bit of a lull. The product isn't brilliant. So, yeah, it's just like the interest isn't there. So, where you get, like, say, a really good December, anything you gained in December, you just lose in June and July. So I think that it's very comparable to a minimum wage job if you actually space it over a year. How do you deal with friends that lose interest in things that you might bond over, but they haven't been? Hey, live your life. Live your life. If you like something, carry on watching it and enjoying it. And if your friends have moved on to something else, see if you like that or not. You know, give it a go. See if you like it. See if you bond over that. If you still prefer, say, the wrestling or whatever, then you do you. You can still spend time with them. You don't have to watch, like, shows with them at the same time. I think that's why communities like this are so important. Because there's a lot of people that watch wrestling on their own. I mean, that's why I started the channel. I watched it on my own. And I had no one to talk to. And Twitter just doesn't work. Like, you can send something out on Twitter and then you'll just get, like, a load of hate. And, you know what I mean? Like, I like to think here that if you put something in the comments, you're not going to get shot down by other people. I think there's respect in our community. They're fighting on the outside. It's all about marketing, and people don't buy as much stuff. Christmas and the holidays is what brings in the money, says another YouTuber with 250,000. Yeah, I would agree with that. I think that December is a big month for YouTubers because people are buying Christmas gifts, holiday gifts, all that kind of stuff, and you know, it's cold outside. People are maybe staying in, watching YouTube instead of, you know, going out. In the summer, though, it's the complete opposite. People are out having fun, going on holiday. They're not watching YouTube videos, and I get it. I totally get it. But that's the it's not an issue. You just, as long as you know. Don't think you're going to have great months every single month. If you have a good month in December, you'll lose it in June and July. Into the ring steps goes Oney Lorcan. Ariya Daivari screaming in the face of Lorcan, who's down at the moment. It's a pity YouTube channel depends on WWE content. They're costing you money the way the show is. Into the LED screen goes Oney Lorcan. Ariya Daivari snapped. Well, yeah, Gary, I do diversify a little bit into, like, UFC, for example. We do the UFC live streams. We always cover the big boxing events. We've obviously done a little bit of Fortnite stuff on the channel. I try not to go too OTT with that stuff because I appreciate the majority of people, 99% of people, are here for the wrestling stuff. But, I mean, you just sometimes have to do what you got to do, haven't you, to get by and to earn money and to keep it all going, because I think people understand that if we do a Fortnite video or if we do a boxing live stream or when we cover UFC, I mean, I'm passionate about... I liked genuinely the Fortnite toys. I thought the detail on them was really good, and I really did want to look into those. So that's why we covered them. The boxing and UFC, I'm a fan of those. So I don't feel like I'm cheating people by presenting... Like, if we started doing dolls, like kids' toys, girls' toys, like some kind of doll Barbie collection, then I get it, yeah. I've sold out. But I haven't sold out on anything because everything we've covered has been stuff I've genuinely been interested in. But the reason that I've kind of explored that is because you're right, the wrestling stuff probably isn't strong enough at the moment to kind of keep the channel sustained. and that is a sign of the product. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of hope with AEW coming around now, but yeah, I'm just kind of obviously we'll be streaming those shows as well, and obviously any news breaking out of that, and it's very interesting. The dynamics of it all behind the scenes, it's interesting. But it kind of goes back to what I was saying. This is what takes your time. Finding the videos that people would enjoy watching. Finding the videos that are going to help you maintain a certain income. I mean, I'm not even someone that's after loads of money. I don't care about that. I do it because I genuinely love doing it. But you have to pay the bills. So you have to pay the bills. Obviously, you want to get figures to talk about on the channel. So you need a little bit of spending money for that. You need to pay the bills. And it'd be nice to put some savings away, but I think we all struggle with that. I know I am, and to be honest, I'm not there. I'm not at that point. So I think when it comes to finances and things like that, it's hard. It's difficult. I think unless you're one of those big YouTubers that's getting like millions and millions of views on like your videos, it's a dog eat dog kind of world, isn't it? It's hard. You're like having to fight tooth and nail for everything on YouTube. Because YouTube don't help you. I can tell you that much. You get a split second of some music and that's it. Your video's demonetized. Even me saying the word demonetized might get this demonetized. Did you just put the second channel on hold? I did because I've said it many times. I've never known what to do with it. It's not at the point where that can be monetized as well, because you have to have 1,000 subscribers, and you also need to have I think it's like 40,000 hours watch time within a year, and if you're not within those parameters, you can't monetize it. So that channel, that second channel, is not at the point where I can monetize it. So anything I'm doing with that is time I'm taking away from this channel. So first of all, that's a problem. Second of all, I've never known what to use it for. If I move UFC over to there and stuff like that, that then hurts this channel, because that does bring, new viewers in, and there's people that watch UFC that are interested in wrestling that maybe won't have found this channel otherwise. It's a minefield. So yeah, I've had to put it on hold to concentrate on this, and I'll maybe revisit it, but I need the right idea first, and I could really do with it earning money. WWE is the best show ever. #support days. I don't need. Hey, look, this wasn't a planned conversation. This isn't a plea or anything along those lines. Everything's fine. So yeah, don't take what we're saying the wrong way. But it was just a very interesting subject that I think we stumbled onto, and I always like to be honest. I always like to tell you exactly what's going on. So yeah, I'm quite happy to talk about that. If that's what people want to talk about, then I'm quite happy to talk about it. So I gotta be honest, I wasn't really feeling 205 Live. Like it was okay. I thought some of the action was good, but it doesn't have enough star power. Clearly WWE aren't bothered about it, and that kind of does come across in the show. So I feel sorry for the performers on there, because I really feel like they're trying. And you do tend to get some of the best matches of the week on that show. But yeah, I wasn't feeling that tonight. Appreciate the support, dude. I really do. I appreciate everyone who supports and joins and all of that good stuff. As we said, this isn't a negative. This isn't a plea. I don't want anyone to get the wrong impression. This has just been a interesting conversation. And that's it. That's that. Right, that is it. We are definitely done now, because there's every chance I will fall asleep on this stream. So really appreciate the support. Thank you so much for watching. We will be back again for probably the UFC stream. As we said, we tend to do that on a Saturday. Then we'll be back for Stomping Grounds on Sunday. Yeah, we'll take it from there. So, bit of a flat show, SmackDown-wise. But high hopes that we get something to get our teeth into at Stomping Grounds this weekend. Awesome, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Really do appreciate the support. And I'll see you again next time.